Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. I've been looking to buy. Things good. Y'all know how we do it. Look like it's all family members here. Y'all, we turn toward Holy Jerusalem. Y'all, where our help cometh from. Men ought to uncover, women ought to cover their head. 1 Corinthians 11. Y'all, let's do things decently in order. Let's get this prayer on.
I'm going to get this opening prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of His only beloved and begotten Son, our uncrowned King and Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, locally known as Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 41st chapter, and it reads, Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Most High will deliver him in time of trouble. Yahweh will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. And thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. Yahweh will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness. I said, Master, be merciful unto me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. Mine enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die, and his name perish? And if he come to see me, he speaketh vanity. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it. All that hate me whisper together against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. An evil disease, say they, cleaveth fast unto him. And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more. Yea, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted,
Yes, sir.
which did eat of my bread,
Yes, sir.
hath lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Yahweh, be merciful unto me,
Yes, sir.
and raise me up,
That's right.
that I may requite them. By this I know that thou favorest me, because mine enemy doth not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity,
Yes, sir.
and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be the Most High Yah of Israel, from everlasting and to everlasting. Amen and amen. Hallelujah!
Yes, sir. Boy, that was fire.
Yes.
Boy, that sent fire in your bones, don't it?
You felt that.
Felt that, bro. But that's what that sword do, y'all. Before we get started, let's talk about that sword. Just give me some Hebrews 4:12, just to talk about the power of that sword. Just read that really quick before we even get going.
You say Hebrew 4:12?
Yes, sir.
You got it, Drew?
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12.
What it say?
For the word of Yahweh is quick,
What is it?
quick, and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to divide asunder of the soul and spirit,
Of the what?
of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Y'all see that word is the thoughts and the intent of the heart. So y'all, today's lesson is spiritual Flint forehead. Now we talk about the stubborn Israelites with flint foreheads, and we read a lot about what that could be, but what we're gonna talk about today is the spiritual, the hard head, the flint head of the Lord. Because he said, I'm gonna make your head harder than theirs. So to deal with what you think is a hard head, you got to have a hard head. So we're gonna see who head butt this thing out. and who's gonna be standing tall or who's gonna be dizzy. But you have to have the hard head of the Most High that he told the prophet, I'm gonna give you a head 10 times harder than theirs. You think Rufus R. Jones was tough.
Uh-oh.
You ain't got a clue.
Well, they don't know Rufus.
No. So y'all, today's lesson, spiritual Flint forehead, based off of the forehead of the Father and Son. So y'all, before we get started, y'all know how we do. Anything on your heart, mind, and soul. And first, let us say shalom, Sister Joyce.
Shalom, sis.
You know, Sister Joyce lost her son a few days back, y'all. And we just want to still offer Sister our condolences.
That's right.
And sympathy to your pain, which I see now is turning back to joy. So shalom, sister. Yeah, so anybody got anything on their heart, mind, or soul before we get started? What you got, Sister Joyce? Okay. Okay. When you're grieving, right? Right. Well, because what you have to understand, first we have a lot of catchphrases. So people see things and they say, well, that's the quickest thing to say to somebody. Or like you may hear somebody say, I'm gonna pray for you. What the question she had was, she said, when people say we're sorry for your loss, what does that mean? Catchphrases you have to be careful of before, just like he just read in the script. What is the intent of the heart when you say that? You know, if you sorry for my loss, you're basically saying, I understand, I've been either that way, or I know somebody facing what you're facing, because what you most should be sorry for is you had a child that left this world before you. That changes the natural order of things, because they should be mourning over you. So automatically that raises the bar. Now, because we see scripts of it saying a mother has lost her son, or father his only daughter. You know, we see those scripts, a mother her only son. So when you see those scripts, it's labeling that for a reason. You never see it the opposite, a son who had lost his father, when it's talking about grief and pain, so to speak. So when people say that, it's just like saying, I'm gonna pray for you. Are you really, or is that the quickest thing to say so we can move to the next conversation? You know, or are you truly going to pray for them? You know, and then what are you going to pray for? Usually you kind of need to add something. You know, I'm going to pray for you for strength and to overcome this what has come upon you. So you at least have to tell them what you are going to pray for, so that when they see it, they feel it, and then they know he prayed for me. You know, like you always hear Brother Levi Raphael talk about the book of James. Prayer availeth much. And you have to ask people, pray for me. You know, it has to be a two-part thing, so that they know that when the relief has come, I asked for it and I received it. But sorry for your loss is just basically a quicker way of saying, you know, without going into, you know, just, and I know how you feel, and you know, a long conversation. That's a short one that may get to the point. Hopefully that. Do you know what? Does it add pain? Yeah. And see, what happens is, sister, you're talking about again, how are we trained? Because what happens when a loved one dies or someone dies, you're going to get all of their friends from their former life, you know, their present life, past life, and then who shows up now. Those may be a lot of people knew you when you was in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So you're going to have that crowd because they heard you passed on. So you got to understand, you're going to have, come on up, like, you're going to have that type of group there, as well as your spiritual family who understands, you know, according to the record, the instructions, because we have to be careful of how long we can mourn. There's mourning day periods, you know, that you can't go past no matter who dies. Yo, it's gonna be rough. You know, Jacob, we mourn for him for 40 days. Moses, they mourn for him for so many days. If you go past a certain date, now you're endangering your own life. They ain't coming back. There's nothing you can do. You got to cut it off sooner or later, or you will do what they call grieve yourself to death. And you already know starting out how this program starts. You are born to die. Yes. What you got, sis? What else saying? Right.
So with that being said, the Holy Spirit is to me, you need to get out.
Right. Absolutely.
So what I want to say to my family, I want to start with it, and I don't want to.
I know that's right, sis. Absolutely, sis. And understand this, y'all, like I say, the rules, the Messiah grieved and he wept for Lazarus. He groaned in his spirit, you know, and this is our king, you know, when he heard about Lazarus, because he called Lazarus his friend. It was his partner. He groaned deeply, you know, tears came down his cheek, but he already knew that he was going to be resurrected. He was going to rise again. He already knew that, because they already know the plan, but still his human side of him, when he got around Martha and when he seen them crying and they tell, boy, if you had been here, he like, look, y'all, he coming back. They're like, we know it the last day, but he said, no, y'all gonna see him today because I got to prove the resurrection. But it still showed his compassion around that time. We expect you to grieve. But the deal is, if grief started to get hard, then you got to call us and ask us and say, hey, pray for me. Grief is getting harder. And it's getting harder because you may be getting closer to the cut-off date of grieving. So all y'all do, if y'all Google, y'all, we ain't got time to go through it now, days of mourning in the Bible. That's all you have to Google in. Use these smartphones to get smart. So, and then you'll see certain people, and why did it go this many days for this individual and this many days for that individual? But they're mourning days, y'all, so you get back on track. It's the same way, like if a man go to war, he has to be, when he get drafted, he has to spend 1 full year with his wife before he goes off to war, because he may never come back. So y'all, these rules were set up because this is the book of life. It deals with everyday life situations. It's not something that you can just pick up for a good soothe or read, or like you saying, sister, sorry for your loss. You have to explain sorry for your loss in here so that they understand the rules of this. Because if you cry harder than, you know, he made you. If you mad at me, you bring him back then. That's how the Most High feel, and you don't want that on your consciousness. So with that, anybody got anything else? What you got, bro?
At the end of the opening prayer, when everybody was shouting, I didn't understand. I got hallelujah.
Yeah.
Selah.
Selah. S-E-L-A-H, meaning meditate.
Okay.
Think on that. So we, after the prayer, what the power in the prayer that he read, and then it ended with hallelujah, praise Yah.
Another dose.
And then it says, we say hallelujah, Selah. Meditate on that psalm or that prayer. Truly meditate on. That's what Selah means, to meditate on.
Okay. I just don't want to be faking like I'm shouting when I
Right, like, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
Absolutely,
Ain't nothing
bro.
wrong with that.
Absolutely,
Ain't nothing wrong
bro.
with that. Because there's a lot of people there to do that.
Right.
You're supposed to ask those questions.
Yes, sir. Know what you giving praise for, and two, understand. So if somebody asks you, man, what that means, say like, look, man, you know, we'll get back to that. But see, you have to come down there and see. Well, why you saying that if I got to come down there? You know, everything that comes out of your mouth, you should be prepared to explain it or answer it.
Now, to add to that, hallelujah, I know God's name is Yah, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So hallelujah, or hallelujah, what is that?
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
Okay, praise Yah.
Yes, sir.
Praise God, praise Yah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's meaning.
And meditate upon it.
And meditate upon
He
it.
tells us to meditate upon his commandments day and night.
Okay.
Because through your meditation, it keeps you from that evil thought.
Yes, sir.
It separates it.
Right.
Righteousness and unrighteousness cannot dwell together in the same.
Yes, sir. You understand what he's saying? So, like, look, if somebody did you wrong, you be meditating on that all day. I ought to go by there and bust all his windows out. No, let me meditate. That may get me some time and shit, rent due tomorrow. No, I can't go do that. And you have to think like that, or to go over there, or to set him up, or to do something evil to him. So you meditate on those things. That's why if you kill somebody under that, they call it first degree premeditated murder. You meditated on this. You thought it out.
When you went and got it, you knew what you was about to do with it.
Do with it. So in like manner, when we meditate on the praise of Yah, we have to meditate on good things and what he require us to do. To keep his commandments so that we may live. We have to meditate on living spiritually first, because that's going to be forever. This is temporary. All of us are already starting to feel the aches and pains of getting old. Elbows popping, knees cracking.
Man, I feel that in the stuff today, man. Oof, I'm glad y'all heard it.
What you saying, boy? You say
I said I feel that in the
you
stuff
thought it was the
today.
4th of your life when you stood up after that knees was popping. What you got, bro?
Sirach 39 on the morning. Sirach 38, verse 16, going on down to 21, and it says, "My son, let tears fall down over the dead,
Yes, sir.
and begin to lament, as if thou had suffered great harm thyself, and then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burden.
Right.
Weep bitterly,
Right.
and make great mourn, and use lamentation,
Right.
as he is worthy, and that a day or two, lest thou be evil spoken of.
Right.
And then comfort thyself for thy heaviness.
Would do what? Comfort thy what?
Comfort thyself for thy heaviness.
Right.
For of heaviness cometh death, and heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
Right.
And affliction also, sorrow remaining, and the light of the poor is the curse of the heart.
Right.
Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, remember the last end.
Yeah.
Forget it not, but there is no turning again. Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself.
Yeah. So see, you ain't gonna do him no good because they're gone. Ain't nothing you can do about that. They're gone. You can't cry them back. David fasted while the child was alive.
Right.
But when the child died, he got up and washed his face and they brought him something to eat. He like, look, I'm done. It ain't happening. Didn't curse the Lord one second, and he understood, why that had to happen. So good question, sister. And like I say, once again, condolences, sister. Good call on that, 2-by. Y'all, and that's what we're talking about, a scripture to back it up. Y'all get into some Jasher, the 54th chapter, I believe it is, in Jacob's funeral. You see mourning. You see he was so respected in Egypt that Pharaoh sent out a proclamation that don't nobody come out and stand. When a funeral procession come by, they gonna die this evening. Y'all get into that 54th chapter. If it's not 54, 56, I'll look at it real quick. Of Jasher, of the death of Jacob. And it said he died from that disease. But when you look in there, and his cat, all 12 tribes had him lifted up, walking through, and they marched, and the procession was for Mount. When you read that, you talking about a procession like they showed John F. Kennedy. The child's play compared to what the book of Jasher speak about on Jacob's funeral. And the things of what we had to do and how we had to mourn. And then it said, cut it off. You got any more questions out there, bro, before we get going? Life, are you good? Was that 54 or 56?
Yes, sir. I was going to ask,
Go ahead, bro.
you studying Selah?
Yeah.
56.
Yeah.
56, y'all. Jasher 56.
How you spell it?
S-E-L-A-H. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's very good, bro. So with all y'all get understanding, y'all, this is class. So in class, you can raise your hand. You don't have to wait till the class is over to raise your hand. We got a whole week in between us. You know, tomorrow ain't promised to us. So we have to understand that. But today's lesson, the spiritual Flint forehead. And because we're right going into the Feast of Trumpets, y'all, tomorrow. For all y'all that will be attending at Brother Ariad, Sister Tammy's location, so y'all may have got what's needed to attend. So with that, y'all, we'll be bringing in trumpets tomorrow. You know, y'all know how we do it, but if y'all doing your own thing, we understand too, y'all. That's how we get down. Immediately following that, October the 8th, sundown until October the 9th, sundown, we'll be going right into the Day of Atonement. So y'all, what this trumpets is it's making sure we sound the alarm, because you're going into the Day of Atonement, which is fasting and prayer with no water, no food, none of what you like. None of what you can't even say, well, it's just recreation, it ain't food and water. It don't count, because anything you take inside is called eating. So we have to understand that first spiritually. You're going to cut it off for 24 hours. Don't let it be a shock to you and just try to cut it off immediately. It's going to be trouble for you. Start to wind yourself down before the sundown get there, so you get prepared for the Day of Atonement. And then you eat lightly and go on into your day. It would be wise if you have time to take off, especially if you're doing heavy labor. If you got a construction job, you can't be out there. It's still hot out, y'all. And they talk about up in the 90s, you know, until about mid-October or so, before it started to come back down. You don't want to be out there sweating like that and ain't had nothing to eat or drink. And you pass out, you're going to do a disservice to the feast day. People will be blaming the feast day. And anybody on medication, if you have to fruit it out, because 2 Colossians tell us that no man judge you for a feast day. Understand the kingdom ain't about this. This ain't gonna get you into the kingdom if you keep this. You know, you're trying to keep it to get you in the kingdom, I should say. So we want you to be careful and watch your health. You know what medicines you may be on that you have to take and for your body, so you don't get sick. You cannot get sick on a day that you're supposed to get healed. That's counterproductive. So do what you need to do. You know where you can go. Instead of eating a regular meal, you may have to substitute that with fruit. If you have to drink some, you may have to go on the water fast during this Day of Atonement. But the whole thing is keep your mind mental on. I got to get rid of whatever's plaguing me today. This is the day that I starve it out of my system. Whatever that may be that's plaguing you, today is the day to starve it. And that's where plagues go away. They have to be starved out, because you're feeding wickedness. You have to stop it so they starve. They have to starve. If y'all understand it from that perspective, that whatever's plaguing you must feel hunger and die from hunger. And you can't give it nothing to eat later on. See, like Lent that they teach in Catholicism, 40 days, and you do whatever you do, but then you're able to go back to it after 40 days. Well, it's coming back 7 times. Harder after that. You'll never shake it. So with that, y'all, you got anything, y'all, before we get going lunch? Spiritual Flint forehead, and what we talking about, a head harder than the rebellious, and that you don't become the rebellious, that the spiritual Flint forehead ahead, but you out of this and into some strange doctrine. Y'all, we got to be armored up, y'all. It's wartime. We can't just keep talking about the days of Noah and we ain't girded up. That's right. We ain't prepared for the war to come. You think this really is something that some movie you watched and you hollering and hooping at the TV? Y'all, this is going to be real life when this goes down. It could be nuclear war any day. And once a nuke hit, it's purple rain, y'all. It's fallout. And I don't care what you are eating or what you are drinking or what you are rubbing on your body to try to get healed. When nuclear fallout hit and that hits and it hits the air, there ain't nothing you can eat or chew on that's gonna help you breathe nuclear radiation. Y'all, the main thing is, if you gotta diet for breath, then put that on the market. Because that's what we gonna need, because the whole end is talking about airborne viruses. Every time somebody sneezes, if they don't do this, you in trouble. Y'all see the commercial, it go out like this. What are you gonna eat to stop that? What are you gonna eat to stop that? Once it get in, the next thing you know, your lip is itching right here and your nostril right here, fever blister coming. Ain't nothing you can do. It got to go 2, 3, 4 days. You can try a lot of old things, put earwax on it and all of that, but
Earwax.
yeah, you ain't heard about that, boy? Cut it in half, but it's still gonna go. But what that's talking about, like I say, your immune is weakened down, and these things come from the air, y'all. So that's what we have to be prepared for. And with Trump, as crazy as he is, he could incite somebody to let it go. And they say instantly, how many? 500,000 people on the first lick. And then another 300,000 when the wave push it like this into the next county. If a bomb hit Kansas City, y'all, we got 30 to 45 minutes to get all of your iniquity out of you and begging for sin repentance. 45 minutes before that wave get here.
That just depends on the wind.
Yeah, and it depends on the wind. Yes, sir. So y'all, we got any questions out there too, before we get started? The spiritual flint forehead of the Lord, y'all. How to harden our head to deal with what we got coming, y'all. Because the first thing we're going to have to deal with is trying to get our own people together. Because that's who you want to be saved, and that's who you trying to tell. You better come on, you better get off of that, is your people. But this is a stubborn and rebellious people. You got to know how to deal with hard head. If you don't know how to deal with hard heads, you're going to turn them loose. And the only way you can turn them loose is if you first practice the hard head on them. If you ain't, then you just turn them loose to let them go out in the streets, fend for themselves. Like telling a 5-year, go on the bus stop, your bus will be here shortly, and it's 2 blocks away. Would you do that to a 5-year-old? Let him stand out there by himself.
Yeah, it's happening.
Right, I mean, some people do.
It's happening. I see it.
Let's get y'all to attain the forehead, y'all, we're looking for. Let's get mostly because we have to understand who's providing this for us and how he cares for us and what he'll do for us, y'all. So we want to start in this Isaiah 50. We're going to read it, and we're going to get Isaiah 51. We're going to read that. And then we're going to move on down to the Lord's chastening, which helps you develop the forehead. Y'all, it's like basic training to get spiritually equipped for the war that you're going to be dealing with. First, with the enemies of the foes of your own household. When you defeat them, the world is easy. They already know who you are. What their job is to make you fight each other. But there's a way, because that Psalm he just read, David ain't talking about the Philistines. Who David talking about? My own familiar friend lifted up a heel against me. Let's not be that about. He's talking about Israel. So he wrote in there through the Spirit, I must have perfect hatred. Or you gonna selah and meditate on harm that could cost you to end up hurting more than you was at the beginning. So y'all, we got to get some understanding and get this head hard the right way. Let's get it. Isaiah 50th chapter.
Everybody there? I will get our reading started in the book of Isaiah, in the 50th chapter. Start our reading at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Let's get some understanding, family. Thus saith the Most High, where is the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I have put away? Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Behold, for your iniquities have ye sold yourselves, and for your transgressions is your mothers put away.
So the Most High is asking, I divorced y'all, I separated y'all from Israel, but I didn't do it. I didn't sell y'all off. Y'all sold yourselves off. So, yeah, no, now? Okay, all right. So, you know, he's explaining that ain't nobody picked us up. So, because there's a new marriage covenant according to the law, he's going to marry us again. But if we've been married to somebody else, he will not take us back, because then the land will be defiled. The mother will be defiled if we come back into that land. If somebody else marries us, I'm talking about the whole house of Israel. Ain't nobody else married us, because we sold ourselves to them. So that's not a marriage covenant in the spectrum. Most High said, well, who did you do it to? Who got receipts on you? You know, that they can claim you like this. So he's letting us know, first of all, like he always do, always starting out the gate, you, your own worst enemy. You did this. I didn't do this to you. You forced my hand. Let's read some more.
Verse 2.
What it say?
Wherefore, when I came, was there no man? When I called, was there none to answer? Is my hand shortened at all, that it cannot redeem?
That it cannot do what?
Redeem?
So what are we worried about running anywhere for? Is his hand too short that he can't grab you from anywhere? Look, the last day scriptures say, if you're on the housetop, you could be putting a roof on your house. It said, don't go down, don't climb down that ladder and go back in there and get nothing. You come running back out of there with them gators and that Gucci purse, the ride gonna be gone. If you be in the field, don't go back to your house to collect nothing. If you storing up water and food, you got to keep it on your back at all times if you leaving home. You think you're gonna go back and wait out 3.5 years? I got food, water stored up. If you there when it happens, good for you. But if you ain't, it say don't go back and try to collect nothing. Because guess what? You're probably running your mouth, so by the time you get home, it's already gone. Everybody already know what you got stored up. Let's read some more.
Or have I no power to deliver? Behold, at my rebuke, I dry up the sea.
Yes, sir.
I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stinketh, because there is no water, and dieth for thirst. I clothe the heavens with blackness, and I make sackcloth their covering. The Most High Yah have given me the tongue of the learned.
Yes, sir.
That I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary. He wakeneth morning by morning. He wakeneth mine ear to hear as the learned. The Most High Yah hath opened mine ear, and I was not rebellious, neither turned away back. I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the head. I hid not my face from shame and spitting.
So we see the Messiah is prophesying here. This is Isaiah prophesying of the Messiah at the crucifixion. He gave his cheek to the smiters. And my beard, because in the law, there was one portion that when you mourn, there was a mourning time that men, because their beard was a status symbol, men will pull out a portion of their beard to let you know, I'm in this great shape that I care nothing about this outer cup. I'll snatch a beard out, but that will grow back. But the Messiah said, under what I was going through, he said, what I was facing for Israel, I gave the smiters, you know, those like to just sucker punch you. I gave them my jaw and they ripped my beard off. Unless y'all have to understand this, now Mel Gibson did a real good Passion of Christ, so to speak, of the crucifixion of the Messiah, about as close as you gonna get to, and that can't even compare. That's like a little children's novel compared to what really happened. But you'll see in there the graphic of ripping a man's beard off. And then just getting hit in the jaw and my face to smite it. Slaps like this upside the face while you walking by about our transgressions. Let's read some more.
Verse 7. For the Most High Yah will help me. Therefore shall I not be confounded. Therefore have I set my face like a flint.
What he said it like?
Like a flint.
Hard rock. Because I got to be stern in this. I can't be playing around with this. I have to be hard about what I'm doing because this is serious business. You know, there's a time for, joy. But then there's the time to be prepared for war. Let's read some more.
And I know that I shall not be ashamed.
Right.
He is near that justifieth me, who will contend with me. Let us stand together.
Let us do what?
Let us stand together. Who is mine adversary? Let him come near to me. Behold, the Most High Yah will help me. Who is he that shall condemn me? Lo, they all shall wax old as a garment. The moth shall eat them up. Who is among you that feareth the Most High, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness and hath no light? Let him trust in the name of the Most High and stay upon his Elohim.
That's right.
Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand. Ye shall lie down in sorrow.
So he's talking about verse 10 on out. Who is among you that feareth the Lord and obey? But if you're obeying a different way, the sparks you heaping up is what's going to burn you up. So he's saying, look, I'm the one that can help you. You can't start a fire big enough to deal with the champion who I put you under. You ain't got enough logs. You're going to need me. But first I have to prove myself to my Father to take on y'all burdens, those of y'all who come back to me and say, we believe in you. We believe you got our back. We ain't running. We ain't scared. Hit that 51, we're going to even get deeper into it.
Chapter 51 and verse 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness.
Ye that follow after what?
After righteousness.
See, this is what we're talking about to gain the forehead. You have to follow righteousness. Do that mean you ain't gonna never sin? No, it don't mean that, because righteousness tell you what to do if you do fall short. But you have to seek that way, and understand it, because if you don't follow the repair method, you're going to try to find a repair method that's Band-Aid worthy only. You're going to keep knocking the scab off. You know how you get that scab right where you used to get it, where you can almost pick it off and maybe just one little circle that's bleeding out. But if you knock that scab off fresh, y'all, it's pain.
Be like
a fresh black scab been knocked off. I'm talking about not peeled, I'm knocked off.
Yeah. Ripped it off.
Yeah, you find it on the inside of your jeans or still on the sidewalk. Boy, hey, you right, bruh. Let's get it.
Verse 51 again. Hearken to me. Chapter 51 and verse 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Most High. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are dead. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him.
So we can again see where our covenant goes back to, y'all. Everything we shape, move, or groove has to be through this covenant of Abraham and his children. No need for you to try and worry about Ham, Shem, and Noah. Those three sons populated the world. The last thing we got dealing with them in prophecy is only dealing with the landmass that those original boys that got off the ark hit. Next, everything flips to Abraham and his three sons, and which is grandsons as well. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Esau, and Ishmael. These are the nations you have to understand of Abraham, but each one has a specific purpose and role. But Israel got the covenant. The covenant that Abraham went to receive it is for a particular individual group of people, then the rest of the world. So we have to understand that, yes, Ishmael is Abraham's son, firstborn son, but his prophecy ain't the covenant. Esau but his prophecy ain't the covenant. But everything we're reading about in the future is about the covenant of Abraham's children. Whether this group get woe out or this group get woe out, it's what it is. And these sons of Abraham move throughout the land of those three brothers, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Because if it's not that way, y'all, and Japheth is who he's supposed to be, or you say, who's ever in Israel running, we ain't in Israel. Who over there now, according to that, if you don't understand landmass prophecy, then they are the children of Israel. There ain't no way to get around it. So we want to be careful on understanding landmass prophecy versus the seed or the promise of Abraham prophecy. It's going to include nations. Let's read some more.
Verse 3. For the Most High shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. And he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Most High. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
So you want to prepare yourself for this as well. How to be in joy and melody around a group of people that you're going to be around starting out in 1,000 years.
Yep.
If all you know is chaos, you got 1,000 years to go. You ain't gonna make it a weekend before you be right back out of the millennial reign. Back into what you like, chaos. If everywhere you go, everything you do, chaos is involved, that's a problem. You'll have to learn what ignorant free zones mean. And what we're talking about, it ain't calling nobody crazy when you're saying ignorant. You just ignorant. Meaning without knowledge of a subject. If you are somewhere you don't need to be, you are without knowledge of what's going on. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? How you gonna be somewhere and then it's the running of the bulls and you don't know why you standing out there and everybody just take off? What? And all of a sudden now you got another exit. In your rear end. Airborne. Let's get it, y'all.
Verse 4.
What it say?
Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people.
Yes, sir.
My righteousness is near.
How close is it?
Is near. My salvation is gone forth, and mine arms shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on mine arms shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment. And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner.
Y'all, so ain't no need us thinking about nothing other than what this happened. They say the earth's gonna roll away like a scroll. You're gonna see clouds like you rolling up a piece of paper like this. That's what you're gonna see when nuke hit. That you're gonna have to get through first. Shalom, man. Come on up, bro. Come on. Yeah. So, that's what's going to happen first. You got to get prepared for about that and say you're going to die. Look, some of us are not going to see the second coming. But he said, look, don't worry about it. If you don't see it and you die righteous, you're going to enter before those that left alive. They got to wait till you get through the gate. So when they be like, man, who is that? Oh, that's them that died for the name of the Lord. They gave their life up. Yeah, okay, we got to wait on them. Yeah, we got to wait on them. Yes, sir. They in VIP. Let's get some more.
Continuation of verse 6.
Slow on that.
But my salvation shall be forever.
Right.
And my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me,
right,
ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their reveling.
You ain't scared of no reproach of man or afraid of their reveling. I ain't talking about nothing, your head harder than theirs. Oh yeah, I say, get away from here with that. Look, if you told the devil, resist him and he'll flee, what you scared about some 2-bit Negroes for? Or some workers of the devil? What you worried about that for? And you've already been prepared to tell their leader, bag up. He has to bag up. It comes down. Angel the archangel didn't have to give no railing accusation when he come for the body of Moses. The book of Jude, he told him, back up. Get out the way. He didn't have to go in, you cloven footed, you horn head, back up. You remember what happened earlier up there. Do we have to go through that again? Say, like, nah, we ain't got to go through that, partner. Nah. Go ahead on. Let's get some up.
Verse 8.
What's that?
For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever.
How long?
Forever. And my salvation from generation to generation.
And our salvation. See, a lot of people have the word with Jesus. Oh, that's a Greek name. It mean that. What book you reading that in? If you reading it out of the same concordance as you break down everything else in, it's going to say salvation. This version of Joshua. But it's salvation still. It's going to be hard on you. You can find all of the pig Latin names for it all you want, but you finding them outside in another book. Use the same concordance. Y'all, we ain't into, this ain't about how well you can language this thing out. Everything we keep saying is talking about get your mind right and your head hard enough to understand what's coming with you. Block out. See, our head has to be hard to block out darts and arrows. You can't let it in. Once it's in, it's in. Like your parents said, don't open that door for nobody. What about Aunt Bertha? She come by on the lunch. Nobody.
Especially Aunt Bertha.
If you do, I'm beating you. Okay. Open this door. I gotta use the bathroom. Open this door, y'all crazy kid. Oh, y'all crazy. My mama said, don't let nobody in. Open this door. Nah, and then finally she'll go. And you'll see her running with the hubcap with a key on it at the filling station. Into the bathroom. But you didn't open that door. She called your mom. Them some crazy chillings of yours. Wouldn't open that door. And I told him, don't open the door. Don't open this. Don't play with the devil. Don't open this up with nothing else but how he tells you to open it up and communicate with me. Go in your closet and start meditating. Get in tune with me. You don't need nothing extra. You ain't got to rub nothing. You ain't got to chant nothing. You get in there and start meditating on my word and my law, and you're following my rules to ask so your prayers will be answered. Am I at the right time? Am I in the right place? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's get to prayer on. But if you don't, you can't call the Most High from somebody else's phone that he don't like. Like how Saul, he said, he ain't answering me by dreams. He ain't answering the priest by Urim and Thummim. So you gonna go use the phone at the house he told you don't go to, the witcher indoor. Hey, is it okay if I use your phone to call the Lord? Like he ain't got call ID coming from Satan's minions. What? Hello, Saul. You just won't learn, will you? Clicker. Let's read some more.
Verse 9.
What it say?
Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Most High. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon?
So y'all see, it's talking about the war in heaven. So when you're talking about Rahab or planets that was destroyed up there when Satan was cast out. You're like, look, at least know what we talk about on her earth. Before we got busy, there was spiritual warfare. and the devil is angry. You think he coming with earthly warfare or he coming with supernatural? We got to get supernatural. Flesh, you already destroyed yourself. He ain't worried about you. You destroying yourself. Let's read some more.
Verse 10. Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that hath made the depths of the sea a way for the ransomed to pass over? Therefore, the redeemed of the Most High shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I, even I, am he that comforteth you.
Yes, sir.
Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die?
What you look like trembling that any man gonna die just like you? He's got a date with death. You scared of that? I mean, where does the conversation end? How much can he swell up? And embalming fluid awaits him. And you scared of that individual. Let's read some more.
And of the Son of Man, which shall be made as grass. And forgettest the Most High thy Maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens, and laid the foundations of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. But I am the Most High, thy Elohim, that divided the sea, whose waves roared. The Master of hosts is his name.
See, and how he compared this, he don't compare, the Most High don't compare himself to beating up no man or nothing like that. He tells you what he controls, that controls nations. See, he say 10,000 will fall at y'all right side like this, but I control storms. I control hell, fire. I'll put some ice on you that's on fire. No, you'll get the real taste of icy hot. Let's read some more.
Verse 16. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens, and I lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people.
Who are we?
Thou art my people.
Yes, sir.
Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the master the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee?
So he said, particularly, you know, you got things you're going to face. Who going to comfort you? Ain't nobody comfort you because they're blaming us for our own behavior. When you see these YouTube videos of young girls in high school saying racial things, and the only thing they've seen was a black president the last, if they 16 to 17 years old, you knock 8 years off of that, they was 8 years old, they're looking at, what do they know about racism like that, unless it's being taught to them? But they on video being put out of high school about these things, y'all. This ain't way back then. These are things that they are learning about us and our behavior that makes them go to those levels when they get mad enough. They say, we'll tell you about the curse that y'all under. And while you're here, don't be mad at me. They can be mad at your forefathers because you wouldn't be here. And that's true to an extent. Let's read some more. Go ahead.
That's why a lot of times you will hear them say that they doing the work of the Lord by doing what they do unto us. Because in their wicked understanding, even though the Most High says he has set them up for rulership because of our transgression, he didn't mean for them to do the things that they are doing.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, you will hear them say, well, it was God's purpose for us to enslave y'all and to be rulerships over y'all, because they know the script. They have to tell you only so much without giving away the secret.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to put you in your place, say, hey, your God did this.
Yeah.
This ain't our fault. Don't blame us. But they're gonna stop at so far, because if they go too far, then they have to reveal the old secret.
Yeah.
And they can't do that.
No, they ain't gonna do it.
It's not time.
It says until the fullness of the Gentiles come in, then we gonna know what the deal is, because they gonna start to tell us who we are. They ain't gonna have no choice like Pharaoh. But when these storms and different things get to hit, we just got to get our mind and heart ready for what it is that's coming. You're talking about it, but if your heart ain't ready, you just fat mouth. You're selling wolf tickets. They counterfeit. Let's get some up.
Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted.
What have they done?
They have fainted.
Look, tired already. If your sons is fainting, your strength gone. What they look like passing out? What you gonna do?
Right.
These youngsters passing out on us. These niggas fainting.
Don't want to work. You see a young teenager at the gas station begging for money.
Right.
Healthier than you. Refuse to work. His whole thing is, I'm going to sit and beg you or take what you got.
That's right. Faint. Weak. You can make $5 in probably about an hour at Aldi's, just bringing the cart back and get the quarter. But you gotta walk them to their car and convince them first, I'm not gonna rob you and take these groceries. All I need is the cart and I'll load your groceries for you. But they just standing out there, you got any spare change? Spare? Since when does change become spare? Oh, okay, yeah, we do put spare change in the ashtray, but I ain't got no spare change on me. I can get some spare change, you get that box to the trunk of that car. But y'all, it's gone. They faint. Let's read some up.
Verse 20 again.
What it say?
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. As a wild bull in a net, they are full of fury of the Most High, the rebuke of thy Elohim. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
Yes, sir.
Thus saith thy master, the Most High, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling,
Right.
even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over.
So basically just saying we just let people walk all over us.
Yeah.
Like a man throwing down his coat over a puddle of water so his woman can walk over. We have reduced ourselves to them trampling over us like that. Because we just become weak and fainting in the streets on the corner. You know, we can't let them see us like that. We have to always make them think that God could come back for them at any time. Is some still in this condition that they are in, willing to serve him under any condition? That's why he started us off with examples, Abraham. And this, so you put it in mind. Ain't nobody got no free ride. Isaiah 5th chapter. We're going to get into this people Israel that is speaking of, and then we're going to get right into the battling of the hard heads. We can get it on there, right? Yes, sir. Got all of that. The battle of the hard-heads.
It's Elisha.
Elisha. Yes, sir.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved have a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it?
So he's asking you, what more could I have done for you, children of Israel? My vineyard. Gave you your own nation, Navy, Army, Air Force of angels. You were rulers of planet Earth. I gave it to you, not only this, but forever. Not for a short cut off time. What more could I have done for you? Let's read some more.
Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now, go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the heads thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down, and I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. And I'll also command the clouds that no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel.
Who is it?
The house of Israel. And the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold, oppression. For righteousness, but behold, a cry.
See, he looked for judgment, but behold, we got oppression. Wearing each other out. All type of oppression. Let's read some more.
Verse 8. Woe unto them that join house to house.
That do what?
Join house to house.
Oh, you're going to link up with anything now, huh? House to house. Instead of the house of Israel. Whoa. Whoa, nah.
Whoa, nah.
How does that sound? That sound like I had that. Okay. Okay.
Practice.
Right, say practice. Go ahead, bro.
It's also meaning doctrine to doctrine.
Yes, sir.
Verse 8 again. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, that there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In mine ears, said the Most High of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of a vineyard shall yield one bag, and the seed of an homer shall yield one ephah.
Y'all know that's been cut down. Out of a whole vineyard like this, you ain't getting nothing but a bathtub full of wine. A whole vineyard, I'm talking about, that should be stocks and barrels, but it's then got so you when you squeeze, you just getting a squirt. This all you getting, so you know what's gonna happen to the price of it, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Because it's limited now. Let's read some more.
Verse 11. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, to wine and flame them. So he basically said, look, you gotta cut that chart. And as soon as you wake up, if that's the deal, that's gonna by noonday, you're gonna be inflamed. It's gonna happen. Not only that, that becomes your God. Yes, sir. You're giving praise to that. First thing in the morning. Before you give praise to the Creator who gave you breath. Yeah. Verse 12. And the harp, and the viol, the tabret, and pipe, and wine are in their feasts. but they regard not the work of the Most High, neither consider the operations of his hands. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
Where they go?
In captivity.
See, y'all, we go, and he didn't mention nothing about no other nation, did he? He talked about us the way we like that. We ain't pruning the vineyards, we ain't doing nothing, and expecting something for nothing.
But we want to kick it.
But we want to kick it.
We got all the flyest instruments and the best music and the coldest dances and everything in our feast. But no regard for the Most High and the operations of his hands and how he blessed us with breath and salvation through mercy.
Popping bottles with rent money.
Whoa,
balling
now.
on a budget. Let's read some more.
Verse 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge.
What they don't have, Elijah?
No knowledge.
See, we're gone in captivity because, what do you mean no knowledge? Why don't we have knowledge? Huh? Look, we are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
That's right.
Not because we didn't get it, because we rejected knowledge. And that means to come into the knowing of a subject. It's easy work. He didn't make it grievous. He didn't talk this to where it talk you out of space. You gonna put it down if you hear it like that. It's a healing book, and it heals your body from problems you having from evil. But then he have an alternate plan that he said, I tell you what, you don't like to prune or do the land just right. Get out of it. Get out of here. Let it go desolate. It's going desolate anyway. Why should it go desolate with you here? That don't make sense, do it? You got workers in there. And yet the grass is overgrown. But everybody ready for a cup, and you ain't got nothing but a bathtub full. Because the vineyards ain't been done like they need to be done.
Everybody ready to celebrate the Sabbath that ain't working.
Ain't working. How you gonna do that? What you resting from?
Rest.
Oh, okay.
That's nothing from nothing means nothing, right?
It's Thomas out there. Shouts out, Thomas. Let's read some more.
Verse 13 again. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And the mean man shall be brought down.
Who gonna be brought down?
The mean man. And the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Most High of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and Elohim that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then shall the lambs feed after their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity.
What they doing, boy?
Drawing iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see.
We're gonna go to Mount Sinai and force the Most High's hand. We're gonna run over here, and he gonna have to show up then. We're gonna do this right here. We're gonna holler at some people. He gonna have to make haste. Let's start compound living. Let's build the kingdom. He gonna have to show sooner or later. He gonna want to see what we built for him, ain't he? No, because you're gonna fall for a substitute that's gonna die just like you. Let's read some more.
Verse 19 again. That say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it.
Yeah.
Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have passed away the law of the Most High of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
So when you say or teach anyone that the law is done away with, all of this woe come with it. Because you don't have any instruction. You don't have any righteousness. That's why you can't bear fruit, because you only squeezing just a drop of grape juice out. How somebody gonna break bread with you and it ain't enough for 2 people to sip? Hell, it ain't nothing but a swallow for you. Y'all know how Della Reed said, you ain't left nothing but a swallow.
Well, swallow it and shut the hell up.
Go ahead,
Hey,
bro.
let me read this precept right
Go
quick.
ahead, bro.
Ecclesiastes chapter 41, verse 8 through 11. Woe be unto you, ungodly men,
Right.
which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if ye increase, it shall be your destruction. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. All that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. So ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction.
Right.
The mourning of men is about their bodies, but an ill name of the sinners shall be blotted out.
What it's gonna be?
Blotted out.
See, and that's what we're talking about. When the Most High say, I don't see your name in the book of life. If he's flipping like this, if he's going to pages like this, it's a problem already. Because he know you already. Enter ye in. And flip to the next one. Next. Go ahead. What was that
Those
precept, bro?
Sirach 41.
Sirach
8 through
41,
11.
Ecclesiasticus. So y'all, everybody's name goes in the book of life when you accept and believe. What we are fighting for is not to get your name blotted out. That where he says, it was here, but I don't see it. Because if you're here, he has a name for you. Lord, are you sure? Lord, are you sure? The creator of all, knowing all, are you sure? There's not a Rufus Merriweather. You're looking in the M's.
You're not found in the registry.
You sitting there with lack of faith.
He don't know you by that name. He has a name for you. He changed Abram's name to Abraham.
Jacob's name to Israel.
Jacob's name to Israel. Those names he know and he put down. When you get to the Lord, he put your name down, but you have to fight to keep it in there. And there's a fight to the end to make sure you in the registry. Because everybody in the registry get an invitation to the wedding supper. Let's read some more.
Verse 25.
Right?
Therefore is the anger of the Most High kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets.
Right?
For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
But his hand is stretched out still. He ain't forgot about us, y'all. I know some say, well, look, what kind of God will leave us in this position? For you to even ask that question, you ain't done no homework.
Lack of faith.
You ain't done a lick of work for that to come out of your mouth. What you mean why we in this position?
Look in the mirror.
It's got to be a reason. You have to understand, were we born as slaves on the plantation? Is this where it started? Because that's all they teach you in school. This how far y'all go back.
What Jeremiah asks is, is
We're
Israel a
homeborn.
homeborn slave?
Yeah.
Why is he thus?
What you got two back?
One of the family members in the chat room got a question. They says, how does Yah judge mentally sick and drug addicts? mentally sick drug addicts.
Y'all judges the soul. That's why we read that Hebrews 4:12, the quick. The soul is made perfect because it has to face judgment. All of these injuries, what we're talking about, is injuries of the flesh. It could have came from how you were made. You know, if you were made and things were happening, crack baby. Somebody really quick, give me Judges 13 really quickly, just word apart where he told Samson's mama what she had to do. See, y'all, we have to take instructions about baby being born. Y'all, there's things you just cannot do because you're feeding mothers the baby. Everything that go in you go in the baby. So a lot of times things come up that babies are born with deformities of the flesh, but not of the soul. Because every knee have to bow. If you're born with no legs, your legs coming back. Your spiritual leg. It's why people have what they call the phantom itch. You get your leg cut off, you be scratching an empty spot. Man, the leg gone. But because the soul is there, the strength is there, you still feel it up here that there's a leg there. Because the soul was formed perfectly. He said, I formed you perfectly. That's the soul. That's formed perfect. It's your conscience. It's what makes him judge you, so you can't say, well, Lord, how could I pray with one arm like this? You say lift both hands up high. But I'm short on one hand. No, your soul is up here. You can feel the other hand when you got it up here. What you got on the cooler?
What you were saying about Liam being missing, my brother, he had a leg injury, and he still has phantom pain, phantom pain.
How long that's been?
It's been about 2 years now.
Yeah.
He still feels cramps in his calf, his foot is itching and stuff.
Ain't no foot there. What's itching then, y'all?
The spiritual foot is itching.
Spiritual foot is itching. Because he said when you walk into the kingdom, if you at judgment day, you're going to be made whole. You have to be standing up. You paralyzed, you will be standing up in judgment. You ain't going to be there. It's without excuse. You think you're going to get his pity and limping. Hey, Lord.
That don't sound like you full of joy.
No. What that's gonna look like in the kingdom? What you a waterhead baby? What you gonna be sitting at the gate, a Shiloh with a head this big? For what? Waiting somebody to roll you in there? No, y'all. So these things we have to look, because there was when you read in the law, it was talking about who couldn't be as close priests. It said you got a club foot.
Flat nose.
If you got a flat nose. So these things, you couldn't be a dwarf. So these things were in there. So he's telling you that that's not my fault on how your flesh was formed. You got that Judges 13 for me? Who got it?
I got it.
Hit it for me right there, is. What verse you at?
I'm gonna start at verse 3.
Okay.
It says, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman,
Unto the woman, right?
and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son.
Yeah.
Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink.
Do not what?
Drink not wine nor strong drink.
The baby can't come out looking for ripple. Beaujolais, yeah. Go ahead.
And eat not any unclean thing.
And do what?
Eat not any unclean thing.
So the diet have to be kept perfect. Any unclean thing. Go ahead.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb.
From the womb. Y'all understand this? He got sanctified in the womb. Then when he come out, he was created as a Nazarite in the room. Numbers 6th chapter. The vow of the Nazarite. His went on for 9 months while he was being formed in the womb. But there's a part 2. You can't let nothing come in here. He has to be just like if he was a Nazarite. When you read number 6 chapter, the vow of the Nazarite, you see what they're going through. She went through that with what she put in her body for him. It was the same thing, but it was growing. It was growing in the spirit. The child in her stomach. Go ahead, bro. What else say?
And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
See, he gonna begin to deliver Israel. This is what it's about. He has to be born like that with power and strength to take the Philistine. You can't be running with a club foot. It ain't gonna do it against the Philistine. No disrespect to that. But it's gonna be some problem unless they get a platform for you or something. But it had to be strength. Hey, let's get it. Go ahead, bro. Where you at, like?
Verse 6.
What it say?
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God.
Right.
Very terrible.
Right.
But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
See, and we ain't got to, so this is letting y'all know constantly you'll see that name ain't important. I mean, if he'd have told her he was Raphael, what good would that have done? Unless she believed. He told her what the situation gonna be, and you have to do it. She said, this was an angel, I know it was. By what he told me. Go ahead.
Obedience over sacrifice.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brush along, miss.
Verse 7. But he said unto me, behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, but the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death.
So you can hold right there. So this is a Nazarite vow from beginning to end. So y'all have to understand, Satan's job was to break that Nazarite vow. And as y'all read, you get into 14th chapter, Samson started out the gate bad. Out the gate bad. Saw a woman, he like, I got to have her. Now that one was for Samson to get on the inside. To get on the inside. But the next one, Delilah. Oh, Delilah was a piece of work. Took the strong man down. I'm talking about kids. Yeah, 10,000 men with the jawbone of an ass, and all it took was just caressing your locks, laying your head on her lap every night. That weakened you to nothing. That's why y'all still to this day, they know what to sing to break it down.
Wine and strange women.
We got to get our minds together. Let's read some more. We finished that. You cool right there. Go ahead, Elijah. Where you at on that 5? And we're going to get right into it, y'all. We got some things I want to hit on.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 26.
What it say?
And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. None shall be weary, nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loosed, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent. Their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring shall be like a lion. They shall roar like young lions. Yeah, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. So y'all, a lot of woe here, and what we're talking about, the blowing of trumpets is coming, y'all. So we have to blow the trumpets of keeping the commandments, y'all. And what it means is, if we have to tell them to you every day, you're not keeping them. You should be to the point of where you understand what this law book is talking about. The book of life. Okay, they talking about this part right there for that. There's some instruction for it. If you think anything is coming from the Most High because you think you deserve it, you sadly mistaken. What you done in your little short span of life, and men live 930.
940 years. What you done in 22 or 32 years? What you done? Huh?
Scored the winning touchdown.
That's about it, bro. Yeah, your best is Big Mama looking down. Hebrews chapter 7 on, y'all. So now that we get the understanding of how to get the Flint forehead to deal with the hard heads of the world, now you're getting it. There's a chastening that has to happen first. You have to go through basic training with the Most High to get yourself prepared for what is going to happen. This is spiritual war. Hebrews chapter 12.
Matthew? Yeah,
12.
12. Oh.
12.
He said 7. That's Matthew coming up.
Yeah, it's Matthew 7. Oh.
He read 2 lines in one.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12.
What kind of tea is this, Imam? What is it? Ceylon?
Sea-Line Cinnamon.
Ceylon cinnamon. What is good for? Oh yeah, good, because then the allergies change the season. You want some of this, Elisha? Elisha needs some of that. Thank y'all very much.
Daniel, a juice bearer.
What you thought you was gonna get some of mine?
Hey, he sure said you want some of this.
You gotta get your own.
Hey, brother, let me ball that down.
Let's get it, y'all. Hebrews 12 chapter.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses. Let me start that again. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight.
Let us lay aside every what?
Weight.
Yo, weight is problems. It ain't just weight, so to speak, but it's problems. They weigh, what they say, they're weighing heavy on you. It's like you got the world. When you're saying I got the world on my shoulders, if you truly think about that, how many people in the world? 7 billion. Do you really have the weight of 7 billion people on your shoulder? But it feels like that. You know, go ahead, Elijah.
Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
See, we got to get rid of that extra weight, so to speak. You know, like we said on the physical side, we got to do it on the spiritual side. We got to get rid of what's called that dead weight, and the next word behind it is sin. Sin has weight.
Yes. So weighty that it'll kill you.
Weigh you down. Sin will weigh you down.
You know how it feel when you sin and afterwards you sitting there, why did I do that?
Right.
Yeah, that's that weight.
What's that weight, boy?
That's that weight.
Yeah.
Verse 2. Looking unto Yahweh Shah, the author and finisher of our faith.
See, the author and the finisher, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega. Ain't no in between. Ain't no Johnny come lately. Ain't sharing this with nobody else. The author and the finisher. Who else are you looking for? Why would you need a resurrected Abraham for what? What is he going to talk about?
It's a new Melchizedek coming.
Yeah. Come on. What he going to talk about? The author and the finisher got the priesthood. What is another one going to talk about, Elisha?
The ruins of Africa.
Okay.
The ruins of Africa.
Let's get some more, boy.
Verse 2 again. Looking unto Yahweh Shah, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
What'd he do?
Endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of our Elohim. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary and faint in your mind.
See, he's telling you, look, y'all ain't got a clue the contradictions and the things that were said about the Messiah. And y'all tired? Y'all tired? Do y'all know how long it took to walk and carry your own death instrument while getting your rear end beat and kicked and stole in the jaw? And they say, get up and keep carrying your death instrument. And you know you marching to your grave with your death device while they hitting you in your jaw and doing all of these things. And you weary. You tired.
Now look at the weariness on those walking to the execution on death row, and they ain't carrying nothing other than the burden of their sin.
That's it.
You
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying? And they got the long face.
You can see that
And
weight.
that's a short walk.
Right.
You can see
He
that
had
weight.
to walk he had to walk country blocks.
Yeah. To Golgotha, the place of the skull.
So he walked from the city to the city without, meaning on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Because that's where death was performed, execution. So they didn't smell the stench of death all the way in the city. So he had to walk from an occupied residency all the way to a place where dead bodies and trash were. That's a distance.
Yeah. And you tired and ain't did no walking. Looking like, say, on death row, at least they say, what you want for your last meal? A bowl of rice.
Get your energy up.
A bowl of rice. Eat them 1 grain at a time. It'll be Thursday before y'all execute me.
You ain't gotta chew rice, man.
You playing around.
They gonna get a funnel and stick it in there in your throat.
Time is money.
Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 3. 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Right.
My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Most High.
Don't be mad about it. What you gonna be angry about if he chastises? He only grooming you to be around him.
That's right.
If you weak, you can't be around him.
Stand up strong.
Let's read some more, life.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Most High loveth, he chasteneth, and scourge every son whom he receiveth. If you endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not?
What father ain't gonna whoop his child rear? And if you don't, it's scripture in Sirach, 30? They talk about what happened if you don't
spare not the rod.
If you don't chasten a son spiritually, too, if you don't get his mind in check, there's going to be problems. What father ain't gonna chasten his son and say, why shouldn't the Lord chasten us? Because he loves us. That's the only reason he's doing it. If he didn't, he wouldn't waste his time on it. Let's read.
We see we're dealing with a generation of non-chastened children.
Oh boy. Don't we keep talking about it?
It's evident. Verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
See, you're without guidance. You're a bastard. You're running loose. Ain't got no rule. Always outside. No father. You ain't been chastened. And when you ain't chastened, you have to get out the house. You got to leave here. You can't run it in here under your understanding. You're going to kill us. You have to point to outside. D-E-D-A-D-O. Dad-a-do. Get out of here. Don't come back here till your mind is right.
How about don't come back?
How about that?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence.
What we do?
Gave them reverence.
Right.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present seeming to be joyous, but grievous.
But what?
Grievous. Nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees,
right,
and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed.
So strengthen yourself. While you're in full body. You're a strong young man or woman, but you're walking like the lame. You're weak and broke down. How are you strengthened like that and you beat down? You look like you're full of muscles and everything, but you're weak as wet toilet paper.
Right.
Not good toilet paper.
Ain't worth a wet food stamp. Woe down.
Soft as medicated cotton.
Oh boy.
Medicated?
Yeah. Extra
So
soft.
if you're supposed to be a follower of Christ, how can you be so emotional?
Yeah.
And get thrown out of your game just through some crazy talk?
Yeah.
And you start cussing like a drunk sailor and slandering because you can't answer something. But you saying you an Israelite.
Right.
You're a follower of Christ.
But can't answer.
But you can't answer, so you clown and throw a temper tantrum before the word. But yet you the son of the Most High. Right. You an Israelite.
No, you ain't had no chastity.
A bastard son is what you are. Verse 14. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Most High.
So ain't no need you talking about warring and it's not for a peace plan. That's what the war have to be about so you can have peace.
Right.
Continue war, there's no peace. At all. War in your home, there's no peace. Man that argue all day with his wife gets no peace at night, literally.
Really?
Let's keep going.
Hurry on up.
Get up out of that Verse 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled.
Many be what?
Defiled. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
One morsel of meat sold his birthright. Let's understand one thing. His birthright was not to get the everlasting covenant. The covenant was the elder should serve the young. So for one morsel meat, he still had the birthright though. He had an inheritance coming to him from Isaac when he died. But because he wasn't ready for death and he didn't understand this thing, for one morsel of meat, and y'all, and this is what it was, he was hungry. When you get into the book of Jasher and different things, he was on the run from killing Nimrod and his men. He was running. He was faint when he got back.
He committed murder, theft, everything, and he was on the run.
And he was tired because he was running like a fugitive. And Jacob cooking that stew. And you can smell it 3 blocks over. You're hungry, ain't you? He's like, man, what my birthright gonna got to do with it? I'm about to die. You're talking about dying in the flesh. This is about eternal life. And you're saying you finna die? Oh, no. What you got?
But he had no faith.
Had no faith. What you got? I just got my birthright. Well, you know what the deal is. Sign it off.
And you also read in the book of Jasher how he refused to go and study under the house of Shem and Noah. And Jacob went all the time, but
Yeah.
Esau was like, man, bump that, I'm finna go kick it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang out with my boys. So he refused to go and get the instruction.
That's right.
Not because he didn't have it, he rejected the knowledge that was given unto him.
We just saw that, didn't we? It is not, you don't have knowledge because it wasn't given to you. You don't have knowledge because you reject it. I don't want to hear that. Not today. Damn, not today.
And you blowing highs.
You blowing highs, man. Come on. But it probably is a time when you can blow that. But if it's to the point that where they do like this, don't give it to me, you have to be careful that you don't shove it down their throat.
Right. Cast not thy pearls before swine, lest they turn back and trample it and spit it back in your face.
But for one morsel of meat, y'all, and this is for us to look at the mark of the beast is coming upon this earth. We talk about it all the time. For one morsel of meat, would you take the mark? See, they're going to do you like they did us in Jerusalem. When we locked the gate so they couldn't get in there, they say, well, that's all right. They soon going to have to get some supplies. There's too many Negroes in there, and most of them don't know what fasting is. Most of them don't know about sharing. They don't know how to break up the rations and wait it out. So what they start doing is roasting goats and letting the smell go over the wall. Drove us crazy. We start eating our own children. When you smell that smell like that baby sitting back there with Levi, that baby will turn into a turkey. And you be looking like this because that smell, y'all, them cartoons that they do, that ain't no fiction of nobody's imagination. That's when hunger reaches that point. And that's the point when they move in with the mark. Not to force it on you, but you broke down and say it's a cause. It's not a force. It's a cause that make you say, I done had enough.
Right.
The Most High say, if you have enough, tell me, and I'll take the breath of life from you. But you can't have enough and take the mark of the beast. Because you're only going to eat for a short period of time. And then you got to face me anyway.
Now you got eternity of damnation.
Oh. For one morsel of meat, y'all, you ain't gonna be eating like you at Roof Chris every day. Beans and rice. That's the food you'll be eating. They're gonna bare minimum survive, make you survive. And when you realize I done did this for one morsel of meat, ain't no need hollering and crying in. You were supposed to be doing that hollering and crying when you was at death's door. Take my spirit from me, because he tells you all throughout the script, certain men, so they don't have to face the pearls of evil, I will take them away before the evil come. But he said, I haven't put more on you than you can bear. It's why every time you go with a loved one, they'll hold out to Jimmy get from California. 3 days drive. As soon as they see him, hey baby, yeah, Big Mama tired. Okay, Big Mama, I'm gonna go over here and get a cold towel. You come back, Big Mama gone. Held on that long, and that's what he said. When you're tired, that's what the Messiah say. Lord, it's finished. And then he gave up the ghost. Guess who died at that same hour? Books of Adam and Eve. Adam. Same time, and the sky went dark too. Same exact hour. Let's read some more.
16.
17.
For you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
No place of repentance, though he sought carefully with tears. Crying. That's that old fake crying. That's that crying at funerals, and you've been a hellraiser the whole time. Now you hollering louder than anybody. Holler, take me, about to turn over the casket. No, now you want to holler. You think she hear that? Get up from there! Get up from there and let me lay down there. Get! Now you know that ain't going. What is all that hollering for? And you know that ain't possible.
If she got up for real, you
boy,
got up
come
out of
on.
there, boy.
And that's why, because they know it ain't possible.
Boy.
So it's easy to holler that.
They had to be calling in construction companies to patch them walls up. You done ran straight through out in traffic.
I told
Where
him
we
to
at?
get up. I didn't read
Verse 18. For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of a trumpet.
And the sound of a what?
Sound of a trumpet. The voice of words, which voice they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them anymore, for they could not endure that which was commanded. And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart.
And it's talking about the Most High at Mount Sinai. Like say, you go talk to the Lord. He said, don't come near here. He said, no beast or cattle or nothing, because I'll put it down. I'll put it down. Don't come to me half-hearted. Nothing. You know, don't play with me. I'll put it down. Mount Sinai was rough, y'all. They told Moses, look, you go talk to him.
We don't want to hear his voice.
Boy, his voice is serious. Let's get some more. Let's finish that off.
Verse 21. And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly fear and quake. But ye are come unto Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living Yahweh, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels.
So we ain't going back to Mount Sinai. You coming to Mount Zion. Don't need to hear all that talk. That's feeble, weak talk.
Run to the wilderness.
You running that way back to the wilderness of Sinai. You coming to Mount Zion, where righteousness dwelleth forever. Ain't nothing at Mount Sinai no more. Let's read, Elijah.
23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to Yahweh, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, and to Yahushua, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel.
Yes, sir.
See that ye refuse not him that speaketh. For if they escape not who refuse him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven.
You ain't gonna get away with it. Because you turn a different direction, you ain't getting away with it. He's like, look, you're gonna have to answer to me sooner or later. You're gonna have to answer to me. Let's read some more. Let's finish that
Verse 26. Whose voice then shook the earth, but now he hath promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth only, but also heaven. And this word, yet once more, signified the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. Wherefore we, receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace whereby we may serve Yahweh acceptably with reverence and godly fear. For our Elohim is a consuming fire.
Let us always serve him with that, knowing that we ain't worthy of nothing. So how does that mean? Why we keep seeing works of righteousness? You have to get approval from him. But there's nothing technically you can do that's worthy of his grace. You have to be brought into that position by how you're trying to keep his will. How you're attempting to do it, and you're doing it not from because it's routine or it's just something to do. You'll be doing it because you fear him. And that's how he gonna know the difference, because the fear of it. It's like sometimes me and Elisha be talking and you be like, man, boy, I told him, no, that damn thing. Oh, I didn't mean damn thing, you know, but I was talking about that. You correct yourself before your conversation keep going. But that's fear of the Lord. If you burn your finger and you immediately start thinking of the lake of fire, you understand you got fear of the Lord. I got to be careful what he's trying to tell me. Go ahead. We finished that license. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get right to some Matthew 7 all. We're going to hit a little bit of Ephesians 69, 59, 17, but we're going to definitely get into Ezekiel 3 all, because this is to sum it up who you going up against with these Flint forehead, and your head gonna have to be hard dealing with this people Israel that you got to deal with first. You can't leapfrog over Israel and go to nobody else. And that means that it's gonna be some you're gonna have to move out of the way to get to the ones who wanna hear it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Look, when the nations see it, they already in line. You ain't got to train them to understand who we are. You have to let them see we are the light. They have to see your behavior before they start to open the door and let the sunshine come in. They just ain't gonna do it over bad behavior. How you telling them about who you are and ain't mention why you here? You got handcuffs on and talking tough.
Not only that, you got so many Israelites running around running amok that's giving false doctrine and foul behavior that's blaspheming the name of the Most High before the heathen. That you have to first separate yourself before you can even be an example. You have to first separate yourself from the foolishness of Israel.
That's right.
So that they don't lump you up in the same boat as them crazy.
Because they will. Yo, so with the chastising to get the forehead right, you got to make sure there's nothing that softens your head. Meaning that you're taking a wound because you're not understanding righteousness. You allow the bad behavior to wound you of another. So y'all, we have to be extra careful about that. And one of the major things is judging. That will get us a soft head immediately. And once you got a soft head, you know what it's like. Let's get it, Matthew 7.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged.
See, so what we're talking about is when you give this message for no chastisement, it has to be in a position that you don't want the same thing coming back to you. Because it may come from a different angle. And it don't mean you can't judge. It's saying it's going to explain the judgment it's talking about, because we're going to have judges judging the 12 tribes of Israel. We had judges in Israel, but this is a judgment that is talking about that basically you are pointing out how somebody should be doing something and you doing the exact same thing. See, judge not lest you be judged. How you going to tell me I shouldn't wear 2 left shoes and you got on 2 right shoes?
See, this goes with that Romans chapter 1 and Romans 2.
Yeah. You walking in a circle and I'm walking pigeon-toed. You got on 2 left shoes, I got on 2 right shoes. Something ain't right.
Y'all need to come together.
Yeah, y'all need to come together. Yeah. Give me one of them shoes up, boy. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2.
What it say?
For with that what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again.
Right.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye?
Right.
Thou hypocrite.
Thou what?
Thou hypocrite. First cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clear to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
So it's not telling you you can't judge. It's telling you first you got to make sure ain't nothing on you before you try to tell somebody else something. You can't see clearly. Your eyes already blocked with foolishness. How you see what he doing to make a judgment? You got to get cleared up first so you can see, oh, that's where he's troubled at. But hold on, give me them definitions I asked you for.
Oh, he's slacking.
Yeah. Give me a Proverbs 26:45.
You already got him marked.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So, and what we want to do is get some understanding of the word hypocrite. Because it's a thorough understanding biblically of a hypocrite. Read that for me. You need some glasses?
No, I got you. Want hypocrite or
yes,
you want
sir.
hypocrisy?
Either one. Hypocrite first.
Hypocrite. A person given to hypocrisy. Man, here, read this.
Yeah.
He got on the readers again.
Right.
Read it. Want to give it to me?
Boy.
Well, yo, friend over there, big man.
Go ahead, bro. Read that for me.
Read it then.
Oh, hypocrite. It says a person given to hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you want to get an actor, hypocrite. You want to get hypocrisy too?
Yeah, get hypocrisy. Because it say a person is given to hypocrisy. That's a hypocrite. So let's see what hypocrisy is, because that's what they're given to.
It says hypocrisy.
Come on, bro.
The feigning of beliefs, feelings, or virtues that one does not hold or possess. And insincerity.
In what?
Sincerity.
So you ain't holding the truth in sincerity. Go ahead.
Definition 2. An instance of such falseness. That's it.
Okay, so we see falseness, or holding something against, or saying something, tell somebody something that you ain't gonna do, or that you won't do. And the reason I asked about hypocrite, or I asked that, now give me honor.
Honor. It says esteem, respect, reverence, reputation, a good name, credit.
So a hypocrite won't have honor, because that requires a good name. And you can ruin a good name by your behavior being a hypocrite. So hit me that Proverbs 26, 4 and 5. And y'all, I'm just saying this for a reason, then we're gonna move right back on with the lesson. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna start at 1.
Okay.
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 1.
What it say?
As snow in summer and as rain in harvest.
In what?
Did you say forest or harvest? What did you say?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this again. Come on. All right. 26 and 1. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer it not a fool according to his folly.
Answer not a fool according to his folly. Sometimes people say crazy things that you shouldn't answer it, because what they're talking about, you know, it don't make sense. No need in getting into a conversation that you're gonna spin your wheels, and guess what? It make you angry, don't it? And it make you lash out at them. Yep. And it makes you call them things, so now you got a problem with what you just did.
And you sin for a small matter.
For a small matter.
Now both of y'all sin it.
Now both of y'all sin it. So that you don't answer. Go ahead, what the next one say?
It says, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit.
So now there's a time come when you have to answer a fool, lest he become wise in his conceit. And conceit means prideful. Think you something that you ought not be. So that's, you answer. So it's a matter that came up that I have to answer a fool because they're wise in their conceit. So I'll answer it very shortly, quicker than you think. And we'll deal with the word hypocrite openly.
Knowing you gonna put the question back on them.
What you got, sis?
So, is this still like a hypocrite, like when a person uses smoke cigarettes and steal drinks and get mad because they smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
That's a hypocrite, yeah.
How can you judge someone of their behavior and you committing the same behavior?
Yeah.
If not worse.
See, and that's what it say.
hypocrite.
Clear your mind. When you clear your mind, so you understand what a hypocrite is, when you clear your mind. A hypocrite is someone that's doing something and tell you not to do it, you know, even though they're doing it.
It's like
That's a hypocrite. Go ahead, like
Christ called the Pharisees and the hypocrites.
Right.
Because they was always challenging them in the law, and they didn't understand the law themselves. They had no understanding of the laws, the spirit.
They was doing commandments
They
of
were
men.
doing the commandments of men. They were doing the physical law.
Right.
But they had absolutely no understanding of the spiritual law.
Right.
Which came before the fleshly law.
Right.
And overpowers the fleshly law.
Right.
They had no understanding of John saying, I shall decrease and he shall increase.
Right.
No understanding. So they were judging, and that's why they being judged according to the judgment in which they made.
That's right.
Because they couldn't uphold the same law that they were condemning him with. That's why he always challenged them according to that which was written.
That's right.
And they could never answer because they had absolutely no understanding of the Melchizedek law.
Right.
They understood Aaron's law wholeheartedly, but Aaron's law couldn't bring them to salvation.
Sure could.
And then they were reaping physical benefits. So therefore, their judgment was clouded by gifts.
Yeah.
Same as what we have going on today, the so-called preachers hold judgment in unrighteousness because of gifts, handouts, tithes, not working for 6 days and enjoying the false Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Yo, so this matter will be straightened out, but to understand what a hypocrite is, like Paul would be a hypocrite. Paul was a Pharisee. He killed men that was preaching the gospel of Christ. His road to Damascus changed him to understand what he was hurting or what he was belittling. So he changed. And he went back and told them, I'm a changed man. I don't do that anymore. Now, if he had been on record saying that to them and then killed 2 more people while he talking about that, what'd that make him?
A hypocrite.
A hypocrite. Look, if you quit something because you did it in the past, does it make you a hypocrite unless you doing it again?
No,
We'll settle the matter.
If a man changed from his wicked ways and become righteous, isn't he then counted righteous?
Yeah. So we'll get to the matter and we'll give a clear dose of hypocrisy round here. Very short.
Get a clear dose of hypocrisy.
Where we at? Let's get it.
Let me finish these couple of It attains to that. Hypocrisy. Verse 6.
What'd it say?
He that sendeth the message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. The legs of the lame are not equal. So is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool.
To honor to who?
A fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools.
See, when a thorn go up in the hand of a drunkard, y'all know thorns like be on a rose bush. Now, if you drunk, that goes up into between your finger and the fingernail, all the way up in there. But you drunk, so you numb. You don't feel it, but when you wake up, that thorn gonna feel this thick. As a thorn goes up into a fool that is drunk, you gonna find out what it's like to be inebriated walking through a rose patch. You won't be drunk no more when you go through that. I guarantee you a thorn like this is like Saul, Paul before he hit the road to Damascus. Why do you keep kicking against the pricks? Just think about a toothpick or a screw right by this door and you keep walking by and kicking your toe on it. Damn! Every time, instead of just getting a hammer and knock it down. But you keep kicking your toe. I'm gonna fix that tomorrow. I'm gonna fix that tomorrow. You just limping. Finally gangrene in there. Now you got the phantom kick. Because the foot cut off. Keep kicking against the pricks. Let's read some more. What it say, brother?
Verse 10. The great Elohim that formed all things both rewarded the fool and rewarded transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him.
Y'all see that? Get wise in your own conceit.
Yeah.
chances are better a fool gonna make it than you.
Yeah.
Wise in your own slickness, huh? You think so? Let's read some more.
I'm gonna jump over to verse 17. Verse 17 of that same 26. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh the dog by the ears. As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death. So is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am not I in sport?
See, this is a contest. See, that's all it is to you. It's not about spiritual and uplifting. You saying I'm in sport. This is a contest.
Right.
This ain't no game show.
Yeah.
It's ain't don't give me Jeremiah for 1,000. This ain't no game show. Don't play around unless you ready to get played around with. Okay, go ahead. You good with that?
I'm gonna just read down to 28.
Up to the end.
Yes, sir.
These sisters got something on their heart.
They reading on out.
Verse 20. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases.
What ceases?
The strife.
Exactly.
Gotta put their mouths out. Close the mouth. Silence the lamb.
Shut up.
Verse 21. As coals are to burning coal, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife.
Know a few of them.
The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
Do what?
Believe him
I
not.
don't care nothing about all them Hebrew words and how smooth you saying. Ain't gonna make me be a believer. Yeah, the script didn't say he should say smooth words and thou shalt believe. He should be a master and eloquent.
Quite the contrary, he said, with stammering lips,
Yeah.
shall I, and another tongue shall I speak to this people. That's right. Verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. 7. Complete defilement. Verse 26, whose hatred is covered by deceit.
What is his hatred covered by?
Deceit.
Lying. Why you mad? That ain't why you mad. Right. Shit, look in the mirror.
Right.
We're gonna find out why you're mad.
Look in the mirror. That'll tell you why you mad. Go ahead.
His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Yes, sir.
28.
Yes, sir.
A lying tongue hated those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
Yes, sir.
Flattering mouth worketh ruin.
Y'all ain't
Yeah, you can talk too much. Ephesians, Isaiah 59. What you
Yeah,
read?
he's still holding.
What you hold?
Matthew 7.
Okay. I was seeing what y'all on.
We read 6 verses.
I was seeing what y'all on.
Actually, we on number 6.
Okay, let's get back to it then. Just
glad,
checking.
'cause my
Zeb
finger
finally
tired.
got his finger on there.
My finger been sitting there for the whole time. I'm like, man, I want to move it.
He got that gorilla glue finger. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew
What
chapter
they saying out there
6.
too, Bob? We good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Matthew chapter 6, verse.
Verse.
I'm sorry. Matthew chapter 7, verse 6.
What's up, bro?
Could we please continually state the books of what chapter and what verse Because it's easily to get lost.
Okay, all right. That's
What you
right.
saying? We move what you saying?
6 of what?
Matthew. No, we're in Matthew chapter 7.
You know why he lost?
Yeah.
He was out there bumping that gun.
You know what it was. He had to hold his head off.
Hey, look. He said, what y'all say, the rewind ain't working on the side. Man, I was handling some business. I heard rewind, y'all. We'll rewind for you, Thomas.
He got a little speak out there. That ain't gonna do no good.
Let's get it, y'all.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 6.
What it say?
Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that seeketh, receiveth. For everyone that asketh, receiveth. And he that seeketh, findeth.
Hold it right there. Skip down to verse 12.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go therein thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Few there be that find it. Go ahead.
Beware of false prophets.
Beware of who?
False prophets,
which
come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are raving wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
You gonna know them by what they talking about. It don't take long. You can hear it immediately, and you know what fruits this talking about.
909.
Yeah. You know what fruits they're talking about.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Elohim, Elohim, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
That's the only way you getting in. You can holler what you doing all day, but if it ain't his will, it ain't gonna happen. That's your will. Those are your commandments that you made up. It ain't his will. If it was, you would find it in the book of his will called the Bible. Let's read some more.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works?
What are you gonna say after all that?
And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
What?
I never knew you.
Look, ain't no need in going to the book of life, you hear that. What is he gonna search for? He like, look, I don't even know who you are. We ain't never talked. We've had no communication. The Father ain't said nothing about you. The Father giveth the servants to me. He chose you, that I came to you when you heard the word, you heard it. The Father does that. But if he tell you, look, man, I ain't got a clue who you are. How you gonna stand there and say you wanna check in the M's? No, check in the W's. Maybe they got me listed under that. The judge got the book right here. I don't know you. You talking a different language. That ain't the language of the kingdom. That's the kingdom y'all was talking about, where everything run loose and rampant, and there's no law there. That don't go down here. Your name is not going to be found. Why you keep up here arguing? That's when they're gonna put your mouth on lock, and there shall be weeping and what? Everybody who, why? Because you're gonna be in ventriloquist mode. No, Lord, no, come on now, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Gagged and bound.
Ain't got time to wait, it's judgment day. Next! Let's read some more.
I never knew you. Depart from me, ye worker of iniquity.
Ye worker of what?
Ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell not.
It did what?
It fell not. For it was founded upon a rock.
Because it was founded on a rock. Solid rock. Look, this got to be founded on a rock. See, it had to be hard. It had to be founded on a rock, not cut out with the hands of men. Not hewn stone, and they put it in your head and say, here, chase after this rock. Well, what about the rock that created that rock? That's going to make your head soft, that rock. This rock makes your head hard to deal with the hard heads, and we're going to close out with that Ezekiel 3. But this is what it's talking about. If you ain't got this rock on you, your head's soft. You got the baby head.
You smoking the rock.
Right. And Negroes gonna use you up with that soft head. They'll use you up. Let's read some more.
Verse 26.
What it say?
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand.
Right.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell.
And it did what?
And it fell. And the great was the fall of it.
You're gonna read that out, last two verses.
And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine.
Right.
For he taught them as one having authority, not as one of the scribes.
See, talking as one have authority, not as the scribes. See, they talk foolishness, not as the scribe. Authority, when you come in his name, you come in authority. Bold. You have to tell people what it is to their face. If they don't like it, so be it. But it is what it is. You're only saying it because you say, I love you. That's the reason I'm telling it to you like that. But if you bullheaded, as we used to say, or stiff-necked, you don't want to hear it. And what we got to do is run the test and make sure it ain't us who don't want to hear it. See, there's a checker for you to check and make sure it ain't you that don't want to hear it. You got to make sure you're being and observing correctly, and you ain't the Pharisee.
Yeah.
But it's easy work, because he tell you it's easy. This what you need to do. This is Pharisee work. When you see this, ain't no need you going that way. It's Pharisee work. It's Sadducee work. And you'll be sad, you see. Where we at?
Ephesians 6 and 9.
Ephesians 6 and 9. I'll tell you what, hit Isaiah 59:17, then jump right to Ephesians 6 and 9. Y'all, we're going to close out on Ezekiel 3. But y'all, what we had to do is get our mind armored up, because we finna go into a hard head contest, head butt. You know, like how you see rams run and they butt heads together. One of them finally gonna get faint. That can't be you. And the only way you'll get like this is that you've been chasing commandments of men, and you're looking for another man to strengthen you. He can't strengthen you. He like, shit, if they got on a safety helmet?
Crash test.
Right. This look like he gonna have some CTE behind he wobbling. Isaiah 59:17.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate. Oh, I'm sorry. It's been on the board for 20 minutes.
I got that new finger move along the lines. We doing the work early. Ain't waiting, just finger just moving. Go ahead, Zeb.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate.
As a what?
As a breastplate. And a helmet of salvation upon his head.
Right.
And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing.
Yes, sir.
And was clad with the zeal as a cloak.
Right.
According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay.
Right.
Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Elohim from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Elohim shall lift up a standard against him.
So we see here that what he say, he pay you to your face from the fear of the Lord, and so it ain't no hiding around. The Most High don't never do that. Right back to your face. But we can see in verse 17, what does he have on? This spiritual armor. It's a breastplate. It's the helmet, y'all. So like we always say, ain't nothing new under the sun. This spiritual breastplate and helmet that we're going to read in Ephesians 6 and 9. Now this the Lord is girded up. So you have to be warred up and girded up with the same clothes he got on. You can't come around here with nobody else clothes on. Talking about you finna go to war. Well, who clothes you got on?
David couldn't do it. He said, I ain't tried them yet.
Who clothes are those you have on? Them ain't our clothes. Let's read some up.
Verse 20.
What it say?
And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, says the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them, says the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of thy mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seeds, says the Lord, from henceforth and forever.
Now give me that Ephesians 6 and 9, and we'll match it up with this Isaiah 59:17, and you'll see that it's saying the same exact language, but now it's getting us prepared for spiritual war. A helmet of salvation, y'all. This ain't talking about the helmet you get when you buy a bike and it still got training wheels on it. We're talking about a helmet that gets you to the kingdom. A righteous head. See, it's a helmet, so it's hard. But this is the only armor we're going to have. You can't come in here with nobody else's armor on. It ain't going to withstand the fiery darts. It's going to weaken you down. You're going to be feeble with the wrong equipment on. Hit that for me really quickly, y'all. We get to the
Any other clothing outside of this vesture is a vesture of wickedness.
Yeah.
Ain't no stability in it no way. You can't find anything that grants salvation outside of this.
Yeah.
It don't exist. Anything outside of the Most High is weak. Anything.
Right. Get that for me, y'all.
Ephesians chapter 6.
Right.
Verse 9. And ye masters, do the same thing unto them, forbearing threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven. Neither is there respect of persons with him.
Neither is there respect of person. He don't care who you are. He made the greatest and the small. You're all the same to him. Guess what? Death don't care how much money you got. Huh? Does it? The rich die quick, don't they? Let's read some more.
Verse 10.
Finally, y'all, this is what we talking about after going through. Get yourself prepared. Going through the chastening. Get ready. Now you're ready for war. Let's read.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
See, you got to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. It didn't say be feeble and on one knee, barely behind the wiles of the devil. You got to stand. That's the only way you knock the arrows down and keep walking. How you going to fight on your knees? It'd be a problem, wouldn't it? Let's read some more.
Verse 12.
What it say?
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
Right.
And having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
Right.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness.
See, the first thing you got to do is stand with your loins girded about with truth. Y'all, because see, this is where we fall short, because fornication is what caused us to be in this problem. So truth has to be in this area so that you can walk around naked like Adam and Eve did in the garden. But I'm not talking about physically naked. I'm talking about like with a child mentality, that there's no shame there. You know, but down here it causes all the confusion. When you break up, you only talk about that, and there's half-truths going out about that. Some of it is the full truth, but it's about down there. Every time it break up, when you break up any divorce, because we're in an adulterous and sinful generation. So it's always going to be, and then when you're chasing Baal Peor, he's the master of the opening. He comes with orgy. That's his doctrine. He's looking for porno stars of the word. What you got, sis? Yeah. Where your heart at?
Where's your mind? Where's your mindset? We have two areas of our actually, let's say, our mind or our stomach. We have two stomach roots of it.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a feel, what you're saying is if we don't have a feel with the word.
You too. Man should not eat by bread alone, by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. Bread gonna run short soon, y'all.
Commandments keep you alive and well.
That's right. Because they teach you how to live without eating. It's called fasting. That's teaching you how to live without eating. But you still live.
Right, because Christ says he's the everlasting bread and water.
Yeah.
He that come unto him thirst not nor hunger.
Right.
Because he has bread that will sustain the soul for salvation. This what we have, this come and go.
That's why I say if you don't believe in him, you condemned already. So there's no need to be hot. Why you gonna buddy up with somebody that don't believe? They're condemned already. If you walking together, you got to say, oh, hold on. This our partner, he don't believe though, but you know, we come in here all together. That's gonna be a problem for you. Because he's condemned already. I mean, is that, you might as well have the devil run with you too. He's condemned already.
Yeah.
Might as well keep on picking up, get the car full of.
Let the dead bury the dead.
Let the dead bury the dead. Go ahead, sis.
What I think years ago when it comes to understanding is that this is just a picture of the reality of the things.
A shadow.
Yeah.
A shadow.
Yeah.
It's just a shadow. And when we get past that's just a shadow.
Right.
And the real is yet to be seen.
Yes, sir.
Or experienced. Or known.
Hope is the thing, hope is that's what it say hope is. It's the evidence of things not seen. It don't mean they ain't there, because he say he's the God of the visible and the invisible. But you're not going to see the invisible in this mind state. So what we do is we go find stuff to see the invisible. I'll put something under my pillow. I'll rub something across my gums. I'll do this. I'll holler at the moon 3 times. Ain't gonna work.
You gotta stop.
Where we at?
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
But so your feet are ready to run to where it's peaceful, not to chaos. So you got to shod your feet where I'm going. It's an ignorant free zone. That don't mean we ain't ready for war. But if we war with each other, when the enemy come in, we gonna be tired. Hey man, shit, I ain't cut you too bad over there. Here comes the enemy. Did I cut you too bad?
Oh, he gonna say, I ain't gotta do none of them. They already killed themselves. I ain't gotta do no work.
Watch them take each other out.
Walk on through.
Just walk on through. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16.
Above what?
Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
All of the fiery darts of the wicked. All of them. Not some of them. All of them. Bounce off you. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh.
See, and we read that when we first started off, Hebrews 4:12. That's the sword. You have to take with you something that cuts to the marrow of the bone, dividing soul and spirit. And so, that's how deep it cuts. If you ain't got that sword with you, you playing around with this. No, you can put that up. No, you got to have it with slices this way for woe, and then comes back this way for reproof and correction.
That's right.
That's the way it should work. But if it's sliced this way and that's a done deal, you done done something you ain't supposed to be doing. See, like Sodom and Gomorrah got cut off, but it ain't been judgment day for Sodom and Gomorrah. He say for you Israelites that's running crazy, he say it's gonna be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than it will be for you. Now it's saying there's still a day of judgment for Sodom and Gomorrah. What was them hot rocks that fell on?
That was just the punishment decree. Right?
That was the punishment for doing wrong, but it ain't judgment day yet.
See, that's what Tobias was always for. He was like, man, for a man to live his life in unrighteousness and then come to judgment for eternal damnation, that's heavy. He said, who can bear that? To make foul decisions to reject the Elohim and then a judgment? An eternal damnation? Your whole life was in wickedness. Now you gotta be judged for eternity of damnation? That's a double whammy. But what's even worse is that we invite that upon ourselves.
Yes, we do.
He don't appoint that to us.
Right.
We take it upon ourselves.
Right.
We choose that over life. Because of no faith. Because we don't believe in that which we can't see with the naked eye.
Right.
So it's not tangible for us. So therefore we go with what we can see, what we can grasp hold to. Like Israel say, give us a king like the other nations.
Right.
We don't believe in the spirit that's coming down speaking to us.
Right.
We don't want to hear that voice anymore. We want a tangible man that stands before us that we can talk to, hold on to, because we have lack of faith.
Right.
That's what it all comes down to. The disobedience, the rebellion, all that is because of no faith. Clear the smoke that's blown up your butt. It's all about lack of faith. You can talk what you want.
Right.
The bottom line is you don't believe in that which was promised.
Right.
Because you don't see it.
Right.
And then to understand that you're gonna die and may not be able to grasp it for another 1,000 years, that's a blow to many people.
Did Abraham see it?
No, he didn't see it.
Moses didn't see it because of a reason.
They believed the report.
Yes, sir.
They understood I gotta die before it may even come forth. Generations after generations have surpassed, and it's still not yet. We got Israelites that just came into the word a year ago who's claiming the end is now.
Right.
Who ain't got no patience.
None.
Microwave mindset.
YouTube
it comes down
video.
to no faith. That's what it is.
And
it is what it is.
And who is faith? Messiah.
The Messiah.
You have to believe he's faith. You got to trust that it was given to him for our salvation. If you don't, you condemned already. You can't shortchange him. You can't water him down. It is. He ain't sharing no glory with no Negro that used to drive a bus. No Negro that used to be a Pentecostal priest. None of that. He ain't sharing none of that. He told you. There's no other way up. Any way other is a what? A thief and a robber.
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen, Elijah.
So there's no need for us to debate with these foolish people. There's no need for any kind of contentions whatsoever. They've already proven they don't believe. What is the conversation?
Yeah.
There is none.
None after that.
That's it. They condemned already.
Yeah.
What is there more that you can do for them that Christ can't do for them?
Right.
We flesh and men. We're on the same playing field.
Right.
What can you show them that Christ has already given us the records, beginning and end?
Right.
And you don't believe that.
Right.
So what you gonna believe that I have to say?
A book?
I'm a sinner.
Right.
I can't convince you of nothing. If Christ didn't convince you, what can I do?
Right.
When the rich man died and he asked, man, go back and warn my brethren.
Yeah.
Man, I can't warn them.
Right.
They ain't even listening to the prophets.
Right.
They have multiple books, instructions before leaving earth on how to get it right. They don't want that. He says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we reject it.
That's
Not
right.
because we don't have it. It was given unto us first. And we still don't want it. Because we believe in that which we see with the naked eye and smell with the
Right.
nose
Got
and
to
hear
see
with
it.
the ears
Got to touch it.
and taste. If we can't do that, we don't believe it. Especially those from the show me state, show me.
Right. And then they go
Show
this
me.
month. How you gonna believe in something you can't see? Well, why you call the wind the wind? Huh?
What you breathe.
Right. When you break wind, do you see that? If you do, you better get to Barnes quickly.
Hey, if you put a flame to it, you see that gas?
Ezekiel 3:0, y'all, and we're gonna close out.
done with that?
Yeah, we're done with that. Ezekiel 3:0, y'all, we're gonna close on out because all of that, y'all, was to get your head hard spiritually to deal with hard heads. Your head got to be harder than theirs, and meaning that in righteousness, though. That's you, Ed. Yeah. But that's what we're talking about, not the hard head of the stiff neck. The Most High say, if you stand on the rock, your head will be hard, no darts will penetrate, because they have to cut your head off to kill the body. Finally, brothers, put on the helmet of salvation. It all starts up here.
Itchy doctrine won't move you. It won't move you. I don't care how good it sounds, it won't move you. It just becomes entertainment.
That's all it
Get you some
does.
popcorn and a nice beverage and watch the show. That's it. Itchy doctrine won't have you all like, ooh, let me go back and actually. No, if you're not on the rock, built upon the rock, a sure foundation,
Right.
then you are shaken by any toss of wind.
That's right. Any toss of wind.
Unstable as water. But if your foundation is on the sure rock, the
Right.
rock which was established for
Right.
us, then I don't care what they say, how smooth they say it, how many so-called big Hebrew words he can drum up, it don't matter.
Right.
It ain't gonna move you.
Right.
It ain't gonna be like, ooh, let me look deeper into this.
No, you
You
stand
ain't
there
gotta
first.
question that.
Right.
What is there to question? This is foolishness. This is baby work. This is elementary work. Because he dressed nice and can say smooth things don't mean nothing.
Absolutely. And you think he talking smooth, the masquerader that masquerades as an angel of light. He conned a third of the angels.
Right.
So what you talking, and how you gonna listen to some Negro like this? You got to start at the head. Cut the head off the serpent. You got to cut who's teaching him that. Cut his head off with the word, with that sharp two-edged sword. Once you cut that off, they ain't got a leg to stand on. Y'all understand what that means? I'm talking about like a one-legged man. He can't win a kicking nobody in the rear end contest.
But you have to know your enemy's doctrine. You defeat him with his own doctrine.
Yeah.
He has nothing no place of refuge.
Take the bullets from him.
That's right. You gotta empty out his weapon, his arsenal. He has nothing to resort to. But if you don't know it, then you'll be entertained and taken therewith.
Right. And y'all, it'd be like this. Look, you trusting in these commandments of men and these men like they some great one, they'll be just like Superman. And understand, Superman had a problem. It was called kryptonite.
Yep.
So why would you trust in somebody that got a problem? Now, Superman standing just like this, you unload a full clip on him. He's standing just like this, but when you run out of bullets, click it, then you throw your gun at him. Why does he duck? Why would the empty gun cause him more problems than the 50 shots like this? Because you're trusting in a man.
Yeah, and he ain't got on the helmet of salvation.
He ain't got on the helmet of salvation. He got on the chest. That's where you shooting at, where the ass at. But when you fire that pistol at him, he... Don't make sense, do it? Why would you trust in it then? Can't trust in a Superman with a kryptonite angle on it. You already know where his Achilles tendon, the weakness at. Cut him right there. He through. Ezekiel 3, y'all, we're gonna close out.
Ezekiel chapter 3, starting at verse 1.
That's crazy.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
So this is a spiritual eating, not a fleshly eating. Some probably think, man, this rolls with instruction. You think you got a Lee's chicken biscuit and some instruction. No, that ain't what it's talking about. It's the scroll rolled up. Mentally hear it. Take it in. That's what eating means, to take in. Let's read some more.
Verse 2.
Right.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee.
Right.
Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel.
See, you know who they are. We know who Israel is. There ain't people of a hard speech. You got street language, all of you. We know how to get down in the language. Go to them first. You have to go to them. The trumpet has to be blown to them first. And you just ate the roll, so ain't nothing you gonna tell them but what I told you to tell them. Let's read.
Verse 6. Not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee.
Right.
But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted.
What are they?
Impudent and hard-hearted.
Hard-hearted, y'all. That means they ain't gonna change about nothing. You change your mind for about 3 seconds. You will have somebody you know that ain't seen them in a while. They show up around feast days. Or you'll see them on the street, man, yeah, you still teaching, yeah. Man, I know I ain't been down there and, you know, man, but I just been, ain't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm late. I'm like, well, you done already told me what your fix is. I mean, you just told me everything that needs to be corrected. What am I going to tell you at that point? And see, bro, you've been on that work. You've been doing that. And then they get in their car and the hard-heartedness kick in when they look in the mirror. Why you tell that nigga that? Why you put yourself down like that? You ain't nothing. Drive me home. But you didn't ask them to express why they done fell off the wagon. They did that. Bro, I ain't got nothing to say. That's, brother. You already said what your problem is. What I'm gonna tell you, you know what the fix is. You know, cause you just named them. I need to get back down there. That's step one. I need to get back on my study. Step two, you know what exactly the prescription you need. What is you trying to say? The problem is as soon as you leave, you get hard. I should have said that. I should have said I was on my game. I should have said, I should have. Oh, so now you're going to find another way to say it. I don't like that nigga. The way I was confessing, he's just looking at me, sucking his teeth like, get on away from here. Nigga don't know what's wrong with you. Now you they enemy. Cause of the statement he made about himself. Let's read some more.
Verse 8.
What it say?
Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
Strong and stern against their face. What we care about how they looking mean and ugly. Like a gorilla sucking on lemons. What that mean to me? Read some more, bro.
And thy forehead strong against their forehead.
And thy forehead stronger than their forehead. Rufus R. Jones wouldn't stand a chance against the spiritual forehead. He'd be out cold.
That dude had a Flint forehead.
Yeah.
That was the headbutt master.
Let's read.
Verse 9. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead.
See, he said, I'd have made your forehead harder than flint. All they forehead gonna do, they gonna keep doing like this. When y'all butt like rams, they gonna be doing like this. Oh, I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy. And you standing there like that, want to charge again? Let's read some more.
Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.
Though they be what?
A rebellious house. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee receive in thine heart.
Where you gotta receive it at?
In thine heart. And hear with thine ears. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Lord God, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
You ain't concerned with whether they say, oh, they gone with all that Bible talk. That's not your problem. You don't have to go into a rage to make them hear. If they say they don't want to hear it, is if they hear it or if they forbear. That's on them. Your job is simply to spread this message and the gospel. If you are doing it and you run across somebody that the gifts come on you and you heal or a sign or a miracle come, that's what it is. But you ain't got no other choice talking about nothing else. Don't care what they talking about. That's your mission. Go tell them what the Lord say. Get ready. I'll be back soon. Get ready. The Lord coming back. Go to the next one. And this ain't 10, 12, 15 Negroes on the street corner. You ain't never seen that. What the Messiah send them out by what? 2. How many gonna face the Antichrist? 2. How many did Moses, who faced Pharaoh? 2. What are we talking about? 15, 20 niggas? Who you scaring? And ain't got no nuclear warheads. Don't you think 2 are scaring more than 1,500? They already prepared. You read about these things when they talk about it. They say, how do 1,000 police control 50,000 people? With the mindset that they gonna lose with these small numbers. When we come together, we know what to do. We already know what to do. Most of y'all try to shut down Highway 40. First thing we shout through the bullhorn, whoever have warrants, gonna get locked up. Pum, you got 4 left. In this kingdom, how you talking? Oh, they gotta say who got warrants going to jail today, and it's Friday? You know you ain't seeing no judge till Monday.
They just bought that bottle they want to tap on.
Hey, boy. Nah, go ahead, bro.
Verse 12.
What it say?
Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of the Lord from his place. I heard also the noise of the wings of the living creatures that touched one another, and the noise of the wheels over against them. and the noise of a great rushing.
So he's talking consistently about the chariot of the Lord. All throughout Ezekiel, he's talking about it. 28:12, you know, Ezekiel 1:27, he's talking about what he saw in the vision, the Most High, and his power. Ain't no BS, y'all. Ain't no, look, they even talk about UFOs coming, they show them destroy everything, but then they figure out something to destroy something that they've been saying is wiser than them the whole time. Oh, it don't like water. Right. So you think this intelligent being wouldn't destroy all the water first? Then attack? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit, but the hand of the Lord was strong upon me. Then I came to them of the captivity of Tel Aviv, that dwell by the river Shabar, and I sat where they sat, and remained there astonished among them 7 days. And it came to pass at the end of 7 days that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word in my mouth, and give them warning from me.
See, I made you a watchman. See, y'all, even the angels, there were supernatural that were watchers fell short. They are in more trouble or being tormented more than Satan and his third that failed, because they were sent here to watch out for the demons for you, and they got caught up in the women. Look, and they couldn't handle it, and they transformed themselves. This is coming back today, y'all. Don't think all these shows about butt implants and hair transplants and all this thing, and they running that CERN machine. These angels finna let loose, and boy, they looking for women. And they say they coming for women that got husbands. That's what they coming for first.
For Satan did.
And Reuben talks about it in the Testament of the 12 Patriarch in the 2nd chapter about the mind. They first get in here of the mind of the woman, and they have intercourse with her up here first before anything else happens, and it's relinquished. Y'all have to understand this is a supernatural war. Every time you keep seeing it, and I dreamed a dream, and I went into the spirit. This ain't fleshly stuff. It's spiritual stuff that's coming to pass that you got to get prepared for. Or you gonna grow faint and weak, and you're gonna crumble out of this thing, and you're gonna be through quicker than gas in the wind. And one is a stank, then it's gone. And you be asking, who did it? Who? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Y'all see that? When you see him, you're like, you ought to stop that. Whoa, now. You at least have to say that, or that blood is on your hands. You saw it and you didn't do nothing about it. You didn't have to go in there and shake them out of the tough sleep. All you had to do is say, whoa, now. You got to do it to get that off you. That one ain't on me. And then another thing, when he sent them out 2 by 2, he said, if you go to that house and they don't receive you, shake the dust from off your feet. How you keep doing work on the street corner? How you gonna shake the dust off your feet to who? Somebody passed by in the car. Israel, that's right. And they drive up. How you gonna shake the dust off your feet at them? No, it ain't never been a gang of Negroes standing on a street corner. In Acts 5, when Paul, Silas, and other boy got locked up for on the street corner teaching, how many of them was it? 3 at most. And then they went right back on the corner. 3 of them. And they was going up against the Roman government.
And they still had jobs.
Hit the streets, went right back out there. A couple of, it don't take 20 or 30. Who y'all fooling think y'all scary? You ain't scaring them, they scared of 2.
Well, one car pull up and everybody scattered.
Like they say, once! And a paddy wagon right behind.
Shall flee 7 ways when no man pursueth.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 19.
What it say?
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity.
What shall he die in?
His iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul.
But you done got off of it because he's gonna, and y'all, the worst thing you can do is die in your sin. Worst thing you can do, because when you wake up at judgment, that's the first thing on the table. What you were doing when the death angel came and cut your lights out. That's first on the table. Look, all you heard, no, man! That's the last thing you remember, and then you wake up. Oh, you like Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places. It was just a dream. There was a crazy Negro. It was just no, it ain't no dream. It's gonna be reality. There the king is, and he got questions. Let's read some more.
Verse 20.
What it say?
Again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered. But his blood will I require at thine hand.
See who blood is on? So y'all, all your job is just to tell him. He ain't asked you nothing. He said you got to tell him no. If you don't, the blood on your hands. You say you my mouthpiece. You speak for me. I ain't asked you nothing hard to do. 2 of y'all go into that city. Go door to door. Whichever one don't receive you, some may close the door like we do to Jehovah's Witnesses. All them Israelites, boom. Don't worry about it. You can't holler, oh, y'all going to hell up and down. Close the door in my damn face like that. My nose okay. Can't do it. Just shake the dust and keep it moving. Go next door. Hear the word of the Lord. Next door. Keep going. Where you read that he said, and thou shalt be out on the street corner, you should have 5 stein holders. 6 that's right men. 1 captain of 1,000 there leading the way, popping his whip like Jaffe Joffer among his servants. Get that sign up. Holler, give me some more of that's right.
That's right.
And then go home with no money.
Oh, man.
Let's read some more.
Verse 21.
What it say?
Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. Then I arose and went forth into the plain, and behold, the glory of the Lord stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river of Shabar, and I fell on my face. Then the Spirit entered into me, and set me up on my feet, and spake with me, and said unto me, Go, shut thyself within thine house.
And see, this all you will ever see. When I saw the glory of the Lord, I got weak and I failed. That's what you weak to. That's what you acknowledging. I have 0 power against this. But a sinner like myself, what are you doing down on knees? Thank you, brother. And you say, I'm a captain of 10,000. Thank you, brother. Where's my 10,000? Where they at? Is this something fictional?
It's in the spirit.
Let's read some more.
625.
Don't worry about seeing them.
Right, don't worry about that.
Right.
They wouldn't all fit in there anyway.
Verse 25. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover. for they are a rebellious house.
See, it's going to come a time when the Most High going to have to shut your mouth about keep trying to go to the rebellious house and get them in check. See, you got to understand when to cut off. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to just keep praying for them, hope they get it right. It say pray for them and forgive them if they repent. Right. You don't keep praying for somebody in the same behavior. Pray for the devil then. Pray that Judas Iscariot get let out. You praying?
How you forgive someone and they ain't came to you and repented?
That's what the rule said in Luke 17, 1 through 4. If they repent, forgive them. Somebody tell you, no, I don't care what that nigga say. It is what it is. No repentance. None. Ain't no need you keep wasting no time. Praying for what? He'll tell you what you're praying for me for. Let's read some more.
Verse 27.
What it say?
But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, He that heareth, let him hear.
Right.
And he that forbeareth, let him forbear. For they are a rebellious house.
See, this is what you're dealing with first. A rebellious house. Already get yourself warmed up for rejection. Non-stop rejection. Man, go away here with that. We don't want to do it like that. Go away here with that. It's a rebellious house, y'all. And you got to have a hard head or they gonna butt you out of the game.
Gave you two choices.
Oh, two choices, bro.
You either hear him or you forbear.
Oh, you forbear. That's it, y'all. It ain't no more that, y'all. It's not hard. He didn't put a burden on us like that. They don't want to hear it. Keep it moving. Yeah. You can't drive or shove this down their throat. They don't want to hear it. And then if they do accept it, it ain't full faith. They just doing it because you do it. When they see you coming here, they straighten up. Straighten up. Button your shirt up all the way to the collar. Straighten up. What that wine? Put that wine over there. Put that wine. Hey, brothers, what's going on? Soon as you leave, it's right back to it. You can't force that, and they shouldn't have to do that if they see you coming. If you coming and it's wine out, it shouldn't be no drunkenness. Right. Everything's done in moderation. Whatever you doing, what's up, brother? Yeah, it's sober around here.
That's what that Romans 14 is about. It's compassion without compromise.
Yeah.
You have to show you can't lay a stumbling block before your brethren. Even if they weak in certain areas and you're stronger in certain areas, you have to have some long suffering and compassion for your brethren.
Right.
But to beat them out, and to go to law on them all the time over something that they're weak in, and you strong in, then you're no better than them. Because there's no compassion for your brethren. You shouldn't be going and warring with your brethren anyway or debating anyway. That's unrighteousness behavior. That's not of the Most High. If you got a debate, then you ain't no believer yourself.
Right.
It become a pissing contest.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Who can go the furthest? Then you have a group want to eat that yellow snow. Well, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, you see it now. There's a lot of them eating that yellow snow.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Look at all the doctrines that's out there.
Look, what we supposed to eat, y'all. Give me just this, y'all. We're gonna close. Isaiah 55, 1 through 8. Last one, y'all. Telling y'all the truth. 55, 1 through 8, y'all. Let's see what we supposed to eat. It ain't gonna cost us a quarter. Ain't gonna cost us nothing to make us scared. If you don't give me this, you ain't gonna get it. You can't buy the gift of the Lord. He says it's for free. You can get it with no money. Then you can't go buy no books. How you gonna buy somebody else's book and it say, look, revised 2 new chapters? What the hell are you talking about? Wait a minute. What, you went back up again and you forgot something to write something down? New revised chapter, another $29.95? Bible ain't never What happened?
Lay out in the hallway, plug it up. Yeah,
go ahead, bro. I mean, it's brine bread that don't satisfy. See, the first volume didn't satisfy you, and they know it. It's something I left out. I keep getting complaints. Volume 2 now. Same volume, beginning and the end. Same volume. If you get tired of it, you ain't worked it.
Most I say he come in the volume of the book.
How you gonna put this down and pick up something else? That's a good read.
No,
That ain't no good read. Let's read that, y'all. We're gonna close on that.
lack of faith.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1.
What it say?
Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money,
He that hath what?
no money,
Uh-huh.
come ye and buy and eat. Yeah, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price.
Without money and without price, because this is a gift. It's milk and honey. It's wine. It's good for everything that you need. It's what uplifts you. It's what soothes the soul. It's the only thing that can get down in the marrow of the bone and scratch that itch. You ain't got no opioid can get in the marrow of the bone to scratch that itch. And I'm talking about inside, in the middle of the skeleton. This gonna scratch that itch.
Scratch your soul.
Go ahead.
Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread?
You spend that which is not bread. What bread you gonna get out of this? Huh? Now you making cuts of bread with this.
You ain't even cutting bread with that.
Then you say, well, this old Levitical priesthood. That's a problem anyway. Now you're back in iron. These hand signs of iron, so you say. But where is it in scripture?
Look up Masonic hand signal.
Oh, it's definitely on that
Exactly
chart.
where they come from.
It's definitely on that chart.
And thou shalt present the children with the nano. They shall observe and throw up the nano. Where you read that at?
The book of Mark and Mark.
Right, Mark and Mindy. Go ahead. Where we at? Finish that off, bro.
Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread?
Right.
And your labor for that which satisfieth not.
What it does?
Satisfieth not.
Your belly ain't gonna never get full with books that don't satisfy. You can buy 1,000,000 of them, but you still gonna be hungry because you're trying to buy outside of here. That bread gonna eventually say, that's the bread you ought to be eating. This just a sample. Go back and eat that bread. And you could have said, I didn't even have to waste that money. I could have spent that money on something else. Revised book, and you've been up in the heavens. Like he woke you up again. Hey. I was just thinking, see, me and Messiah was hanging out. You know, I forgot to tell you this. Really? And you didn't say, yeah. See, he went back up and the Messiah said, they forgot to tell him some things. Revised book, huh? Finish that off, bro.
Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good.
Eat that which is what?
Good.
Uh-huh.
And let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live.
Right.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
We can hold up. Anybody got any questions out there too bad? Any questions or concerns, y'all, before we close out? Sis, you got anything to say about tabernacles? Anything?
Tomorrow is the last day for payment for tabernacles. We will have a sisters conference call on the 2nd, Wednesday, October 2nd, to discuss food and different stuff like that, activities, all of those things. So.
Yeah. And tomorrow, trumpets, we out at our yards, y'all. If y'all don't know the way, y'all gonna have to give them a quick call. You know, and we already got prep, so don't make it the last thing. And don't have a car load and tomorrow, well, hey, they just jumped in the car too, no? We gotta do things decently in order. Cause y'all gonna be in line and belching that good food. And everybody who put in hard work, that's getting cut out. No more of that. All you have to do is call and say, put me on the list. How hard is that? That ain't hard. If you ain't got the paper, just say, put me on the list. I'll have it this day. But don't come that day and patting on your pockets. What you patting for? They was flat as the plains of Kansas before you left on. What you think you gonna pat money and not? I'm patting on. That's about 100. That's 1,000. I'm gonna be making it rain in this zone.
You gonna be the bongo man.
Get out of here.
I ain't got no money, but I got these cheeseburgers.
All right.
Somebody did have a question.
Who got a question? What they say?
They say, if we could break down Proverbs 27, 1 and 2.
What it say?
Proverbs 27 and 1 says, boast not thyself
Right.
of tomorrow,
Right.
for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger and not thine own lips.
That's right. All it's saying, y'all, if you talk about tomorrow, y'all, we're going to be down there if the Most High will. Because if it's not his will, you won't be there. So you just have to remember to add that in your language daily. Hey, bro, we're going. Y'all be there, y'all, Most High will. It's not hard, just say that. And then what the other one say?
Job 32.
No, I'm saying on that proverb. What else the second verse said?
Let another man praise thee,
And let another praise this.
and not thine own mouth.
See, once you start championing your own cause, giving yourself titles, who you think gonna call you that?
Right.
You have to perform something for somebody to look at you and call you that. What they gonna do? Cause they put on clothes? No, let another praise you. Let another one say, man, that was good work today, boy. You're serving Lord. All praises to the Most High. I'm just a vessel. The message is passing through to him. He passed it that way. Y'all pass it. That's what we are, brother. But if you got men over you, the message don't pass to you. They pass it to other men that are sitting up high. And you know what you mean? A do boy.
Right.
Boy, go do that dirt for me. Boy, go down there and cause some trouble for me. Boy, let's put this on somebody else, even though we caused the trouble. We'll make him pay for it.
And the other one real quick is Job 32, 21 and 22. And it reads, let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person.
Yes, sir.
Neither let me give flattering titles unto man.
Right.
For I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my maker would soon take me away. So,
okay, yeah, we'll go over that really quickly, y'all. So right there, you see that? It says, we give a man flattering titles. It said the Most High take the breath out of your body.
Sure enough.
You can't give nobody all them double honors to chief such and such, such and such. That's respect, and they can't do nothing. How you gonna do that? They done ate a cheeseburger at rallies and looking in the medicine cabinet. What that Fantex say? Man, it's hurt so bad over here. And you bowing down to that. And he got acid reflux.
Kiss these comments.
Look, how you gonna let David Koresh fool you to believe that he was the lion, the Messiah, can unlock the door, and he got on a pair of glasses.
You can't even see the lock.
And I am he that will unlock the door. How if we remove these? Now unlock it. Who's playing with the Lord? Y'all, we can't be so gullible and simple.
Right. What it said.
Here's y'all, we gotta explain why we're turning toward the east, y'all. Everything decently in order. 1 Kings 8th chapter tells us wherever we carried away near or far, turn toward holy Jerusalem. We're not just turning toward the east. If we was in Russia, we turn toward the south. If we was over here, 1 Kings 8th chapter, Daniel chapter 10 verse 6 verse 10, and then we got also the book of Jonah. We got all of these telling you a direction. We got Isaiah 2. Turn toward where your help come from, holy Jerusalem. So we're just turning toward away. We're in the west, so we turn east. But we're not praying to a rock or anything. We're turning toward Mount Zion.
Where he said he shall put his name there.
Right. So in that we got a direction. Then he tell us the order within the assembly when you're in church group, so everybody know y'all one mindset. It's not gumbo just holding hand and you got 20 different groups of denominations out there. It said men are to uncover their head.
1 Corinthians 11.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians 11. Women are to cover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly of the church body. So we got that. Then we got instructions on what to do with our hands. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. Hold your hands up high. Not in a circle. That's not in the Bible. See, because every soul is accounted for that soul. You can hold hands and somebody could be thinking wickedness. Energy transfers. So you like this, and then if you drop dead amongst the congregation, they know. Just like when the high priest used to go back in the temple, they had a rope around his foot. So he go back there and sacrifice for the sins of himself, then for the children of Israel. You pull that rope and it ain't kicking back. He dead. They just pull him out. Oh, he sacrificed for y'all sins before his own. I guess he thought because he high priest, he ain't got to say forgive me. Get him out of here. Put them clothes on somebody else. So we got direction, y'all. We got order. We know how to hold our hands up high that the Most High has lifted us up. We like a child. Pick me up, Father. Pick me up. Protect me. Protect me. Pick me up and carry me like this. You know how you carry that baby. You can do anything with that cooking. Fixing on something. That baby right there.
All right, we're going to get this closed in prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of his only beloved and begotten Son, our uncrowned King, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach.
Yes, sir.
We call him Jesus the Christ.
Yes, sir.
Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 12th chapter. Bring it up. And it reads, Help, Yahweh, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor. With flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. The Most High shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things, who have said, with our tongue will we prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us?
Yes, sir.
For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy. Now will I arise, saith Yahweh. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. The words of the Most High are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times.
Yes, sir.
Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side. The wicked walk on every side.
Yes, sir.
When the vilest men are exalted. Hallelujah! Selah!
Shouts out, y'all, to Sister Ada Rontubia's wife. Shouts out to your sister. Hope you're feeling well. And shouts out to Brother Judah Offspring. Shouts out, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Boy, that's good work, man. Why I tell that nigga?
Because I know he was.
Why I tell that nigga?
How you been, man?
My son-in-law, he's
I know it, bro.
cigarettes and drinks, right?
I know. Hey, man, ain't gonna let a good thing go. You know, shit, why you gonna do that?
See the bro right there at the trash can, not the green shirt, that's Philip.
Family doing all right, man.
That's him on that list. Go ahead, sis.
We trying to get his wife, my daughter,
Can't complain.
cigarettes, but he's still drinking, sitting himself to the hospital.
Right, so he just got a beam in his eye, trying to tell y'all what it
I
is
said,
sitting.
well, when you stop killing yourself, I'll stop killing myself.
Well, you don't want to say that because you're dying. I know, but your dying is based on him quitting.